Now we are.
There you go.
Cool. Yeah, intro, who cares?
Yeah, well, hey,
Whatever.
you guys missed the intro. Very sorry. It's
happens.
It's going to take a minute as everybody says, "Oh my God, they're really doing it." Yeah, we are. We're running a little behind, and you would think it would be me. You think it would be the crestfallen Chiefs fan that held everything up as I drowned my sorrows. No, it was Reichel having some sort of TV problems. Where are you now? In an actual cave, not a man cave, but an actual cave.
No, the TV was working. I had an issue with one of the remotes, so I had to scramble to find some either batteries or another remote. So it worked itself out.
You know, back in my day, we used to have to get up to change the channel.
Yeah, but now you don't even have a dial on the side of the TVs anymore.
Can't even do the clicker. Yeah, man, if you never fashioned rabbit ears out of aluminum foil, you're just I can't get behind it. I'm sorry. It's good to be here, guys. It's the NFC Championship game. Welcome to the show. This heading back to the window crew. I am Scott Steen, lead handicapper at winnersandwhiners.com. This handsome young fella right here is
Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over winnersandwhiners.com.
Did you think I was talking to somebody else?
No, I'm still mourning. I got my mind elsewhere right now.
You're taking.
Well, I can't really say elsewhere because we both have our mind in the same place. It's just from different angles.
Oh, baseball season?
Close. I was thinking tennis.
Are you thinking about those Royals too?
I was thinking tennis.
There it is. I'm ready. What football season?
Well, you might not even have a baseball season, so that's a separate can of worms, which we can get into another time. But oh boy, how are we supposed to brag about the Royals' up and coming rotation if there's going to be no season? I don't know what you're going to do.
It's going to break my heart. It really is if there's no Royal season, because this is kind of this is the hope we get to 500 year as the guys get some experience, and then next year the 23 season would be the ones I'm really watching out for the Royals. So nice to be here. Welcome everybody. Saved you guys seats in the losers lounge. Thanks, bud. Thanks, JC. You know, I long ago stopped letting my local sports teams affect me negatively. I'm far more in mourning for the bets that I had, all of which counted on the Chiefs to do much better than that. So if I would have had the other side and the Chiefs would have lost, I'd have been like, okay, won't cash my bets though. Zodwick is here. I know he's a Cincinnati guy living there in the nasty natty. So congratulations, Dave. Nicely done by your team. Poorly done by my team there in the second half. Just dreadful. You know, what the fuck? You put up 3 points in the second half. You're not going to win many football games, Scott, no matter how big of a lead you have. So
forget about the 3 points. They put up 83 yards of offense in the second half.
Yeah, and it started. I was a couple chat groups with my friends, obviously, and as soon as Kelsey dropped the third down conversion, I said it's just like last week. Or last game against the Bengals. The second half, come out, can't move the ball. They did get one first down this time, and then Kelsey drops the ball for the first down.
Sure, there's the most important play to me, whether it involved the morale of the team or whatever, had to have been the final play of the first half.
Sure,
because
absolutely.
I don't even mean because the game went to overtime and you would have won the game had you kicked a field goal or had you gotten a touchdown there. But even just the momentum, because you're up 21-3, it's about to be 28-3, or worst case 24-3, and you just give the other team something to build on in the second half, and that was all they needed.
Yeah, I was. I told you at the time I was glad we got the ball. That ended up not making a difference. It's one of those games, and you put it, you get inside the 3-yard line 2 times and come away with 3 points. You deserve to lose. Sorry. It was. You get a gift there. You get a crew that never calls DPI, and you get one in the end zone, and you get the ball at the 1-yard line at the end of the half. Don't score. But
I'm not sure the Chiefs would have scored anyway. By the way, but what was up with the officials not calling anything? Like the entire second half. Like I know that you had Hardman flopping, arguably twice, and pretty much in the span of 3 plays.
The first one was definitely a flop. The second one was not a flop.
The second one he got hit out of bounds, which I thought was just a clear 15. But besides that, even if he flops on the punt, you're not allowed to touch the guy.
Right.
So it should have been a penalty anyway. Now, I'm not going to say that's the reason why the Chiefs lost the game. It's because of officiating or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that I do have to point out that the officiating in the second half did confuse me. And the Chiefs, even a first down by penalty might have done something just for morale purposes, because it seemed like the entire team just embraced the car accident waiting as it was happening. And all I'm saying is, thank God for you that Butker made the field goal in the first place, because those back-to-back sacks by Mahomes by the goal line, I know that you want to keep the clock running, and I get all that. That was some of the dumbest quarterback play I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
The back-to-back sacks for negative 25 yards. Like that's inexcusable on so many levels.
Hey, Brad, what's up, man? Because Mahomes talked him into letting him have one more shot. That's exactly what happened there.
You had 5 seconds. You had enough time for one shot. The issue was Mahomes didn't throw it to the end zone. And the play situation is obvious. You send Kelce or somebody up the seam. If it's not open, you chuck it over his head by 20 yards.
Yep. I was surprised. I was surprised he didn't throw it at Hill's feet.
Yeah, you just chuck it somewhere. It takes 3 seconds, kick a field goal.
2 guys hand him, and it was nice adjustments in the second half. And I'll tell you what the Bengals did is they used they used a spy on Mahomes that they didn't do in the first half, and it did a couple things. First of all, it fucked my bet, which I had Mahomes over in rushing yards, and gets 12 yards the first series. Like, yeah, we're cooking. Burrow gets stoned because I got Burrow under, and he can't do nothing. I'm like, oh, this is just perfect. This is exactly the way I saw it happening. And of course, that's exactly what didn't happen the rest of the game. Is Burrow got, Mixon. I said Burrow. I meant Mixon. Mixon got free on a couple of long runs and pretty much sunk that. And Mahomes really never ran again until the fourth quarter. There ran around a lot, got a lot of yards behind the line of scrimmage. But
if you include net yards, he ran for about 400. But unfortunately, it was not forward.
So, as a Chiefs fan, it sucks. But having been there the last 2 years, I guarantee you that takes some of this thing off, especially since we won one. So
I'm going to ask you though,
it's hard to dislike this Cincinnati team. It really is.
They're fun, but my question with the Chiefs, because of course, most people are already planning for next season if you're a Chiefs fan, just because that's how they're wired, or you're looking at Chiefs to win the Super Bowl like 6-1. I guess my question is, where do you go from here? Because you already have the core, of course. The defense was underwhelming, but I'm not blaming the defense at all for what happened today. They didn't play great, but when you're on the field for the majority of the second half, I'm not going to blame you for losing the game. What was the main reason why the Chiefs' offense just fell apart? Because it seemed like Mahomes had some time in the pocket.
Oh, yeah.
And he just looked off the entire second half, but I really don't know what takeaways you have besides the team just choked. What other takeaways do you have?
I mean, that's the thing. You give up what they give up. They gave up 24 in regulation. You've got to be able to win those games, man.
With Mahomes,
you hold one of the best young quarterbacks in the world to basically 24 points. What they get? They got 3 touchdowns. Or no, they only got 2 touchdowns, right?
Who?
Yeah, they got 2 touchdowns, 3 field goals.
Cincinnati, yeah, the 2-point conversion.
So yeah, you hold them to 2 touchdowns. That's all you can ask out of your defense. I guarantee you they'll look to shore up the linebacking core.
Sorensen's going to be shot.
And look for safety help, of course.
Sorensen's going to be shot. But I'm saying besides him, I even that, like, I didn't think the secondary or anybody was that bad today. I just thought that it was a situation where I said the Chiefs in any given game in the playoffs, you usually can just pencil them in for 30. They were on pace for about 50. And then they just scored 3 points in the final 2.5 quarters of the entire game.
Yeah.
It's one of the most mind-boggling collapses I've ever seen.
Yep. It's weird. We've seen that in the second half as Chiefs fans, quite a lot. It usually doesn't result in a loss, and we usually don't do it in the playoffs. But we've seen this second half offense before, be it Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, whatever. Hey, Browns backer says, "What a clutch performance by the rookie 5th round kicker." Yeah, you can't ask for anything more. McPherson, he's never missed in the playoffs. He's got a streak on the road. That's as big as it gets. Hit a 52-yarder today. Obviously, hit the big one to win the game. Yeah, that's pretty much. If he's a quarterback, he's 158.3, right?
Yeah, I said that if you're looking at kicker rankings, I said it in years past. I of course have Tucker at 1, and I think that you could argue it was a tie between McPherson and Carlson. I think McPherson's clearly ahead right now if I had to pick. I think Carlson's 3, but McPherson's clearly the second best kicker in the league.
I still take Butker. Just
I know you'll take Butker, but I'm just saying I don't know. This is the greatest run of all time by a postseason kicker. I mean, you're talking about a Flacco heat check for a quarterback for a Super Bowl run. I have never seen a kicker make this many kicks leading his team to a Super Bowl. It's actually bizarre.
It is.
How many did he make today? He made 3 today or 4 today?
3.
So he's made 11 kicks through 3 games.
Yep.
That's something that you probably won't see for a long time.
Well, I'll tell you what. It also speaks to the red zone ineptitude of the Bengals, and it almost came back to bite him again today.
Yeah,
but not quite. Shocking part is the Bengals defense isn't that good. No, and we talked about, we were set up for the show, and I talked about it with my buddies the entire game. They couldn't stop the Chiefs running attack. Chiefs ran the ball 24 times, 140 yards, and they couldn't fucking stop them. They couldn't stop them the first time. When I rewatched the film this week, I noticed that they couldn't stop Allaire. So yeah, anyway. So hey, we got a game here, Scott. It's the Niners and Rams. David, I'm feeling for you, buddy. I thought about you as soon as that game was over. I knew you guys had to be bumming out there in Arizona, doing the Kingdom proud out there in AZ. Sad day for the Kingdom, man. But you know what? We still got them all. Our windows, it's the window is at the top. We're starting to bring it down, and I wouldn't say it's closing yet, but that window, it's getting a little tight. I'd say we've got 2-3 more years of Kelsey tops if we can keep everybody together, price tag wise.
Do you think Kelsey's the most important, besides quarterback, of course, the most important player of that offense?
Yeah, I do.
I think he is.
Hill's close, and when Hill does his thing, he's unstoppable. But
yeah, I just think you need that security blanket.
So Rams hit a big 3rd down play there, and once again, Cooper Kupp is open. So there's a shocker.
He's open every single play.
I think the Bengals. I think I've told you this story before. The Bengals hammered the Niners as payback. I was working a comedy club in Dayton, Ohio that week, and the guy that owned the club was
Which one? The Taylor Super Bowl or the other one?
The Taylor Super Bowl against the Bengals Niners. The guy that owned the club had invented the Pound Puppy. He was working on the assembly line at Ford. You remember the Pound Puppy? It was like kind of like a Cabbage Patch thing for pets, and it was fucking huge. And he invented it, and he was a multi-millionaire, and he built like a huge estate. He bought a comedy club. He bought a bunch of shit. So anyway, we went to his place to watch. And of course, they're all Bengals fans. So I'm at his theater room there in his mansion watching this game. I'll never forget that, man. If they can run the football like that, Scott, it's going to be a long night for the San Francisco 49ers. Was it Keys?
That's how you know that the person's rich, by the way, when you say you're at the person's estate instead of house.
Oh, yeah. It was massive. It was a huge driveway coming in. He's got like 4 ponds with fish in them. So
he's got the koi pond. Now he's just flexing on people.
Oh, no, dude. It was like stocked with like crappie and bluegill and stuff. Yeah. Hammer the 49ers in this game. Burrow has exercised the demons of the playoff drought. No, they need to exercise the demons of beating the Niners.
I'm curious what the line's going to be when it comes out for whoever wins the Super Bowl. Because I'm assuming whoever wins this game, the NFC title game, I'm assuming whoever wins this game is going to be favored.
3-point favorite. 3-point.
You think no matter what?
No, I think Rams are.
And the Rams are probably
3.5.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I think the Bengals would be closer to the Niners because you just assume that Jimmy G would cause it to be a bit more low scoring, while the Rams have the offensive firepower.
Yep.
So I do agree with you. I think it would be somewhere in that 3-4 range, but I think the Rams would be bigger favorites than the Niners. Plus, the game's going to be in LA, right?
Yes.
It doesn't really matter because of home field, but that counts.
Niners pass rush was getting home a little bit early, but they've been able to kind of take care of them here at the end of this drive.
Well, you know that I have a play today on the game, whether it's the memes or whatever. I got Stafford to throw a pick, so let's see what happens. The jokes don't write themselves, man. Like we're at some point we got to win one. We just got to exercise the demons one time.
Zodwick said both teams.
Pick! Let's go!
Or are you ahead of me again?
Let's go! Cash it. Let's go. I won something. Let's go.
You son of a bitch. This is going to be annoying.
Let's go. Cash the ticket. Let's go.
They haven't even snapped the ball yet.
Huge.
And there's
huge. Minus 110. Get in there. Let's go. Oh, we have exorcised the demons. Let's go.
Well, now I'm feeling bad. I'm thinking maybe it was me. Because it was every time I was on it with you. We did it like Bet the Farm. We did it on the on our NFL show.
Truth is, I would try to reset the thing, but I said my remote's been having issues. I could try to pause it and try to send it back, but I don't know if it's going to listen to me.
Do you not have any batteries in your house?
No, I do, but the point is that it's weird because it's like a flat screen on the wall, but you have to actually find where the sensor is that like recognizes you pressing the buttons. But it's not like above or below the TV. You got to go on like the 73-degree angle arm tilt and try to find the damn thing. It's a pain in the ass. You know what I'm talking about?
No. Well, I mean, but it's usually the batteries when that happens.
I wish it was the batteries. It'd be that simple.
You're gonna have to get one of those. You're gonna have to get one of those big, gigantic universal remotes that nobody can program.
Stafford, what a guy! Woo!
Yeah,
Stafford, what a guy!
The rocking chair interception. Yep, they don't get a lot easier than that, unless it was the interception prop in the Bengals game. But yeah, congrats, way to go, buddy.
Thank you. Feels great. I'm still pissed about what happened earlier, but I'll take it.
I
Every consolation victory after a couple bad beats in the morning or the afternoon goes a long way.
Stafford's pick reminded me to watch along with you guys. Very good. Raising my record to 2-10.
Let's get it.
That's excellent, JC. That's some funny shit right there. Oh man.
By the way, I posted it on Twitter, but if nobody realized how my betting day went, I stayed up all night and watched 5.5 hours of tennis, which ended at about 9:30 in the morning. Because I had Medvedev to win the tournament at plus 175. Up 2-0. See you later. Choke job, lost in 5. So I sat through one of the longest matches of all time, one of the best matches of all time, one of the greatest comebacks of all time, and I was on the wrong side. And then I compounded that with a Chiefs to win the Super Bowl bet at minus 125 when the Chiefs had first and goal with 40 seconds left in the first half. And they lost 2. So that's not exactly a great way to start your Sunday. So I will gladly take the Stafford pick as any type of consolation prize. I will take that to the bank.
Yeah, but you hit your Stafford pick, so yay.
It counts for something, man. You can't go 0 for. Every little bit helps. It's the Deion Waiters quote. I'd rather go 0 for 100 than 0 for like 1 because it means you stopped having confidence in yourself, which is an all-time quote.
Medvedev is the Chiefs of the tennis world. He certainly.
I made a joke that Medvedev and Mahomes are going to grab a beer together.
You know, I know that the league average of going for 2 is around 50%, give or take. I wonder what it is against the Chiefs. About 95.
What's 95?
2-point conversion rates. I don't remember them ever stopping, especially a big one that really mattered. Oh my goodness.
What about to the practice squad wide receiver who they signed 2 days ago?
Did you see that? How did they not call that? How did they not call that on Fred?
I'm assuming that was after the pick, right?
Yeah. Dude, that's tossing them out of the game. Just
whatever.
Wow. They just missed it, dude.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So what was your opinion? Should there have been more penalties called in the Chiefs game?
It wasn't really a matter of I thought the game was poorly officiated. The Chase pass interference call I thought he hooked him. So, of course, you get annoyed. You get annoyed when the Chiefs get a couple of calls or don't get a couple of calls they probably should get. And then the Bengals get, I don't want to say a touchy call, but any call after that, the fans are going to erupt. I did think it was a penalty. It looked like he hooked Chase on that slant route, so I'm not really mad at that one.
Certainly as much of a penalty as they called in the end zone against Hardman.
I can't say I was really annoyed at that one. The 2 missed calls just happened in like 3 plays. I thought it was definitely kick-catch interference, and I thought it was a hit out of bounds. Besides that, I thought the game was officiated fine.
We actually looked up the rule, and you're allowed no contact with the
No, I know. It's a straight-up any type of contact. You poke the guy with a finger, it's 15 yards.
Yep.
So even if he flopped, it was a 15-yard penalty. They just didn't call it.
Yep. And it might have been because he flopped they didn't call it, but
those two, and then you had the Bengals offensive lineman who shoved the Chiefs guy. He flopped. They threw the flag and they picked it up.
I didn't really even think he flopped that much. I thought
I thought he flopped like 40%. It seemed like he did shove him.
I thought he hit him pretty good.
The point is you had 3 calls there or 3 no calls, 3 calls, whatever, that went against the Chiefs in about a 5-minute span.
Yeah.
and all of them would have been 15 yards. Like I thought those were pretty big deals, but
Yeah. Your team can't kind of come out and shoot yourselves in the dick and then blame the refs.
No, I'm not blaming the refs. You put up
I know.
83 yards in the second half, including overtime. I mean,
Yep.
you win a coin toss again, and you don't even go 3 and out. You go 2 and out with basically an arm punt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that you can't do that. That's
although
whatever.
that was a nice defensive play. I got to think he'll get his hands a little more in front of him and hang on to that ball. He's usually got pretty strong hands being able to hang on to it. But that was a very nice defensive play as he got that hand in there.
I'm not saying it was a bad defensive play, but I'm just acknowledging that it was 3rd and 10. They threw it about 30-something yards down the field into what looked like either double coverage or just a little bit of late safety help over the top. So like 1.5 coverage, if you want to call it that.
Bucket Tyreek
the play before should have been picked. Yeah, the play before should have been picked by Eli Apple. I mean, Mahomes just looked. I mean, it was awful in overtime too, but the entire second half. I don't want to turn this into a legacy conversation, but when it comes down to the end of Mahomes' career and people are talking about comparing him to Brady, this is going to be a game that sticks with him pretty much his entire career. I don't know how it doesn't.
He's going to have a lot of good ones to make up for it in the postseason, put it that way.
And of course, Brady had the one choke. I don't want to call it a choke job, but it basically was against the Colts in the AFC title game where they blew a 21-3 lead as well. That was in Indy. I mean, there's a little bit of different variables there, but at home, really? It's not as bad as the Falcons 28-3. I mean, I think as far as I'm concerned, that's the biggest choke job of all time because you have the Bills. You have the Bills, Oilers one, but one was for a Super Bowl, the other one's for a playoff game. So I think the Falcons choke job is easily the worst of all time. I have to think of choke jobs in the playoffs, but on the top of my head, the Chiefs one today has got to be top 5. Doesn't it?
I would think so. I would think it does, yeah.
And I'm not even trying to overreact. I mean, genuinely speaking, blowing an 18-point lead that should have been 21 or 25 at half at home with one of the greatest offenses of all time, that's easily a top 5 choke job in my opinion.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with. Browns backer says under is looking good so far. Yep, absolutely. Zalbek says other thing no one's talking about in overtime, Mixon ran 15 yards to like the 10, but wasn't touched, dropped the ball, and the Chiefs picked it up. Same play as the illegal formation. Oh, right.
I actually noticed that too. So Reed was asking about a challenge, and I'm not sure what he was trying to challenge, whether it was the formation or Mixon dropping the ball. But I actually did see the same thing that you did. I saw that Mixon fell. It looked like nobody touched him. But now in today's NFL, you have the give-up rule.
Right.
Where if you just stop trying to advance, they blow it dead. So you don't have the Plaxico Burress spike after the completion fumble anymore. That doesn't exist. So I do agree he wasn't touched, but now you have the he gave himself up rule, which is a clear judgment call anyway. So I don't really think that you could have overturned it. Is that a fair assessment?
I have to go back and see the play because I was so pissed. I saw the formation to start with, and I was too busy yelling about the formation. And then for them not to call that, I mean, that's a pretty bad miss. But what? Again,
I thought Mixon gave himself up. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't have a beef there. Like I said, I want to go look at it again. But ever since from the time that they called the fumble in the end zone back on the kickoff, from the time that they called that and said, he meant to give himself up. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that's how they wanted to call those plays. So that's not a situation. I don't think they're going to do that. Trip though, drop the ball. Yeah, it could be. I guess leaving the ball there, standing up and leaving the ball could be giving it up. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
At
least that's how it's been officiated this year. So
right.
I feel like it's consistent with how it was officiated in the regular season.
If I'd have been a Bengals fan and that was a turnover and cost my team and the Chiefs went down and scored, I would fucking be beside myself.
I mean, it might have been a Renfro situation against the Colts too, where the guy barely touches a toenail and you say, up, down by contact. And it's like, I mean, I guess, like, I don't think he really had much to do with it, but Mixon was touched. Then he took like another step or two and then fell. You might have argued that he was down by contact, but he gave himself up anyway.
Mm-hmm. David Good said the cheerleaders look good in the KC game. A flyover is great, man. We went and watched the flyover. It was cool. First half was wonderful. Couldn't be stopped. Yeah, a lot of good things about that game. Just none of them happened after about an hour and a half into the game.
JC's upset that he had the Medvedev match under. I like the over on the overnight. I thought it was going to go 4 or 5. It was not the way that I drew it up. I did not think that Medvedev would win the first 2, and then 35-year-old Nadal would win the next 3. I thought it was going to be the opposite. I thought Nadal would win either the first or the second, and then Medvedev would roll. I had Medvedev in 4 if I had to actually give my pre-match prediction. But I like the over. I guess that was the silver lining. I did lose on Medvedev plus 175, but somebody asked me before the match if I had any locks for the thing, and I said I like the over 3.5 sets. I like the over in games. I also had the over in breaks for Nadal. Now, that's actually one thing that's one thing I actually recommend. If you are betting tennis, if you are betting tennis in like Grand Slam matches, you might want to keep an eye if you like to bet online, because they have a lot of props. They have a bunch of set props. They have breaks of serve props. They have the lowest amount of games in a set prop. They have a lot of stuff over there, and I respect it. So I did have Nadal to break Medvedev's serve over 2.5 times at minus 115. So I won that. I won the over 3.5 sets, but the Medvedev one was the bulk play. So I still lost, but it cut into my loss.
Cool.
Yeah.
Browns backers got a Zodwick said he's a Bengals fan. He was so scared it was a fumble. All right, now I really want to look at that play. Because I did not notice that. Browns backer has a single game parlay cup anytime TD. Yeah, over 80. Is that his yardage, man? I was looking.
No, it's definitely higher. It's actually in the hundreds. The point is, if you do same game parlay, you can take alternative stuff. So FanDuel has like 10-yard intervals.
So you
can lay juice and get it at 80.
Tease the total. All right.
Yeah, I'm assuming 80 was probably minus 250.
That sounds about
guess.
Right. Because he's been around 104, 105.
Yeah.
Like all the way through. Yeah, alternative. That makes sense.
By the way, JC, you can argue that I need a meeting for the breaks, but I'm just going to ask, if I assume that the match was going 4 or 5, and Nadal's a top 3 returner of all time, me 2.5 break in about a 5-hour match, projected 5-hour match, 4-hour match, I'm going to take that all day, every day. It sounds degenerate, but Nadal breaking serve 3 times in a match happens way too often. He also broke at least 3 times in each of the first 4 previous meetings. So there was some math behind it. It sounds a lot worse than it actually was. Let's put it that way.
There you go.
Yeah. Do you have any other action today? Or just the football?
I've got the under in this one. No, I've got nothing. I've got nothing other than football. Sorry.
Can we just have a good game for one of these? One time?
You don't think that was a good game? The first one?
No, I'm saying a good game for the live stream.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, that would be nice.
Just one good game. Just one time.
How the hell did he get? I had the chair completely blocked off. You little bastard. I had it.
Your dog's outsmarting you, man.
I've been outsmarted by the half-breed corgi. Beautiful. Beautiful. I still don't know how he got up there. Because he's like an old man. He's like 8.5. He needs steps to get up on the bed. So even getting up on the chair by himself is quite an event that usually requires a clear landing space. So What's up, JR? Good to have you in the house, man. We got the meme pick. Yep. Zod, I know how you feel, buddy. I was there last week. It's a great feeling when your team pulls that out like that, when you thought everything was lost. It's a beautiful thing. And I met some Cincinnati fans last night downtown hanging out, and everybody was cool. So much more exciting than to see Buffalo go.
The Bengals already won. You can stop barking. Dogs are already barking. It's over. They won the game. It's fine.
Is Higbee out?
He got hurt. I don't know how seriously. I think that was one of the bigger surprises, was that the Bengals offense started to get going after Uzama got injured. And I'll acknowledge Uzama's a pretty good tight end. He's not upper class like an Andrews or a Kittle or anybody like that.
I've played a couple
he's
of
still
over.
a very solid piece.
I played a couple of overs on him. You get him at 34.5, 36.5, and he's cashed some tickets for me.
I don't think the Bengals changed up personnel, though. I think they just went to the backup tight ends. They didn't add a fourth receiver or anything like that. But
right.
I did think Uzama would be a matchup problem for the Chiefs linebacking core. So when he went out, I actually was a bit surprised that the Bengals offense continued to be that solid.
Yep.
But going into the game, I was right about the props. I said I thought Higgins would have a huge game and Chase wouldn't do much. And Chase had a pretty decent second half. He had the touchdown in the fourth quarter or third quarter, but Higgins had 100+ yards.
Well, I'll tell you what. The downside of doubling up Chase and shutting down Chase is you get Nick Bolton on Higgins.
Yeah.
And that was a matchup that they exploited all day long. So that's not going to be a great thing.
Well, that was the huge play. Higgins had a couple, but that conversion in overtime was a hell of a catch by Higgins.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was. It absolutely was. So most Stafford throws in some games look like the one-armed man on Fugitive.
Good movie though.
Yeah, I was going to say
the show, but
yeah, what was it? David Jansen was the Fugitive. My mom used to love that show back in the 60s.
Of course, the movie Harrison Ford, but still.
Oh yeah. Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah, that's a classic. I love that movie. I rewatched that like within the last year. I didn't do it. I don't care. Mm-hmm. Is that the most unrealistic thing that happens in that movie? jumping down the face of the dam and just being fine?
Top 5.
Yeah, okay.
Top 5.
Who's going to be the first TD scorer?
Well, forget about the first TD score. I got a better question. Which team is going to score the first touchdown? We got to start somewhere.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I'm going with the Rams.
If you had Sony Michel or somebody on the Rams, if you had Stafford at a nice price, I had to be a little disappointed there by that interception at the goal line. I got 22-1 odds. Total will be under 20. Looking good so far. That's my only prop bet. I don't hate that. LA. Yeah,
I think if I was going alternative, I would have taken under 30 and hoped for or 31 and hoped for 17-13 or something, but still same ballpark.
Yeah.
We both like the under. I mean, both defenses are good. They've played each other twice already. They're physical. We know Garoppolo can't throw the ball well past 20 yards at this point. So a lot of clock-eating drives.
Oh, yeah. They want to run the ball first and foremost.
Of course, they should.
No question about it. So
Samuel should get 12+ carries in this game.
Yes, Dr. Richard Kimball. There you go, David. Yep, exactly. I know that was a big finale when they finally revealed who the one-armed man was. It was a big deal.
So. Browns backer saying that he saw a report that OBJ cautioned Von Miller not to go to Cleveland. In the words of Joakim Noah, you guys think Cleveland's cool? I never heard of anybody saying they want to go to Cleveland on vacation.
Oh, man.
One of my all-time favorite press conference answers, by the way. I think that's an all-time funny moment by Joakim Noah. I'll watch that once every couple months. It just makes me laugh every time.
Did you see the estimate they were talking about on the pregame that said they thought 65% of the people at the stadium would be 49ers fans?
I assumed going into the game it would be 70.
We've got a degen alert, Scott. Are you guys not watching the New Orleans McNeese game?
I can say that I'm not, but I'm sure that game was more points than this game.
My wife the other night, what are you watching? I said, Western Illinois. I go, good times.
Browns backer, I get it. I'm just saying it's a really funny line by Joakim Noah. You don't hear many athletes either double down on a quote or just say something extremely funny in a press conference. That was funny, the Joakim Noah situation. But by the way, the golf plays, I'm trying to actually remember what I recommended on the show because there were a couple that somebody asked me for. I had one really bad beat in it, which I actually didn't play personally, but I remember 3 plays that I liked. I liked hole in one at -175. That cashed. I liked it to go to a playoff at +350. That cashed. And I liked Zalatoris to win at 33-1, and he lost in a playoff.
Look at you. You're in mid-season form with your golf betting.
It's the only season I have, apparently. I
what.
really just went off the cuff. I really like the hole in one. I really like the playoff. I threw out Zalatoris there, and then he somehow lost in a playoff at 33-1. So
this is
not bad.
There's some people seriously roasting Cleveland in the comments section.
Because I brought up the Joakim Noah situation. So, that's on me. I just thought it was a funny quote. I've been to Cleveland, though. I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I like Cleveland. I like Cleveland. Of course, I've got a good experience there. They have a huge comedy club that's just packed with people. So I always had a great time in Cleveland. But
it was a nice baseball stadium.
And I like pierogies. So there you go. You ever had a pierogi, buddy? You know what a Pro View is?
I have not. I heard they're
You
very
know,
nice this time of year.
you know what it is, though, right? You've been to
Of course.
Wisconsin. Okay.
So this is allegedly a touchdown, which people aren't really sure about because it's one of those great NFL moments where his arm's clearly moving forward, but you have to assume the play is live. This is a pure tuck rule, but the arm's
Yeah.
moving forward. It's
Yeah,
incomplete.
100%.
I mean, I don't know how you even let them play on after that. See, the one issue that I do have with the calling that I've mentioned in the past, it's clearly incomplete. How is that unintentional grounding?
Yeah.
They will never call a penalty on it. He threw the ball 3 inches.
I thought there was a couple of intentional groundings on Burrow that they could have called as well that they didn't call today. So, and I pointed this out on Twitter, Scott. I don't know if you saw it or not, but the Bill Vinovich, the referee today, was the only referee this season not to call a roughing the passer.
Nice.
The closest was 5, and that was John Hussey, the guy that refereed the last Chiefs game. So
I'm happy that there were no roughing calls. Truth is, that was one real issue Kansas City had. They had 2, I remember if it was 2 or 3. I think it was 3 conversions on some missed wide open sack opportunities on Burrow that were absolutely brutal.
Oh, yeah. Brutal. I think at least twice, and you're probably right. It was probably 3. There's probably one I'm not thinking of.
Well, it was 2 on one drive. I think it was 2 on the overtime drive.
Ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous.
But you had the other one where he scrambled, and I think it was the third quarter or something, and he ended up throwing it to Chase for like 20.
Uh-oh. Stafford, there he goes on his horse.
He's got wheels.
Ooh, didn't even slide. Oh, my.
Yeah, I'm ahead of you, so I'm just.
I know you're ahead of me. Yeah,
I'm doing my best not to ruin the whatever. I'm doing my best out here, but they are right now at about the 43. I mentioned it as part of the reason why I like the Niners plus the points. What is Gay's range in this game?
What was his injury? Was it a hammy? Was it a groin? What was it?
Truth is, I think it was a hammy, but I got to actually check this.
45 maybe, unless he improved a lot. You don't know. That's the thing. You don't know how much he improved over the week.
Yeah, he was short from 47. So let's give him a benefit of that and assume minimum he gained an extra 3-5 yards.
Stafford rushing was over 2.5 or was under 2.5. Yeah, cash that motherfucker.
I think I would have just blindly taken the over on principle because the Niners send so much pressure. You assume he's going to scramble once.
He ran last week too, didn't he? Or was it the game before?
Yeah. Well, that's what happened with Burrow today. I mean, Burrow's not known for running, but when you send the house and nobody's open, you got to run for your life a little bit.
Yeah. The goddamn Chiefs and their man-to-man defense. They're open to quarterback runs like that all the time because they're always in man-to-man. They play more man-to-man than anybody else in the NFL. I wouldn't be stunned to see Spagnuolo go. I don't know. Andy's really loyal. Chiefs are really loyal.
I mean, you can't blame the offense. You have to because it's they're at fault. But, of course, you're not going to throw Mahomes, Kelsey, anyone under the bus. Maybe Bieniemy, but I doubt it because they already won a title. Spagnuolo might go. But once again, I do not blame the defense for anything that happened in today's game.
No, you can't. David Good had the over 2.5. Beautifully played, sir. Take a little bit of the sting out of that Chiefs game. You know, that was it. That hurts more than anything. Is I pride myself on not being a homer, and I really liked this matchup for the Chiefs, and I put a lot of stock in the Chiefs being able to take care of business today and scoring some points. So
it looked really good for about the first 20 minutes.
Yeah. Somebody asked if my kid was at the game. No, he was not. He went to a bar. With him and his girlfriend went and watched the game at a bar with friends. So he's never allowed to go there again for a big game.
The bar is dead to him.
David says I'm a homer. It's hard not to be, bud.
We all are to some degree.
It really is hard to be and not be a homer. Especially
I do a better job of hiding it because since I'm from New York, with also an extension to being a Cowboys fan, my team has won nothing for over a decade in New York. Besides the Yankees championship in 2009, I have not won anything since I was born. Right. So you can talk about being a homer. It's a lot easier when your team has an expectation of winning and you actually live up to those expectations. But as a Yankees fan, or even as a Cowboys fan, because of my dad, you hear the Super Bowl or bust or the World Series or bust every single year. And you look at the roster and just go, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah. So I feel like because the fan base for the Yankees or the Cowboys or for some of the teams I root for is so toxic that I have a greater sense of self-awareness because I recognize how dumb the people around me sound, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. You have a lot of blind loyalty for America's team and the Yankees as well. Brownsbacker says that possession before the end of the first half is going to be all over the headlines tomorrow in KC.
It should be.
Yeah, but I would argue that having the ball down to the 3-yard line when you needed to score to win the game and not getting it is a much bigger play. Because
I'm shocked they didn't run the ball on second down.
We're just stunned.
I thought Cincinnati might let them score. That was an argument.
Yep, absolutely. Anyone a homer for Eastern Illinois?
I am for team total unders.
Yep. Oh boy, did they fuck me yesterday. Oh, brutal. They had the lead. Got fouled with 4 seconds left.
Ouch.
Yeah, we were under. Oh, Akers hurt too.
Sony Michel time.
I have seen Michelle run the ball quite a bit. Well, this is going to be. So far, this has been a grind, man.
That's the thing, though. Is it's another one of these live streams where we're half talking about the game, not even half, like 2% game conversation. But it's 0-0. So
I think we should turn that up.
You think we should bump it to 3%?
I do think we should bump it to 3%. Everyone see the photo of Reichel with the Chiefs game, Cowboys hat, Chiefs jacket.
I don't know how you even wear a Chiefs jersey with a Cowboys hat. That confused me on so many different levels.
Had Palmer top 10. He hits the ball in the water on the 18th. Oh God. I lose my ticket. I lose it by a stroke.
I actually won on Palmer because Caesars, shout out to our boys at Caesars, have a couple of bet boosts and they had some golf ones. They had Palmer to make the cut at -135. So I cashed that one. But yeah, the last thing you want when you are out of contention to win the thing, but you have placing, keep the ball dry, please.
Yeah.
That's really all you need.
You know, Scott, if they can't get this baseball thing figured out, I hope everybody out there loves golf and NASCAR.
Does Kansas City have a USFL team coming around?
No, we don't. No,
that's a shame.
Does New York have one?
I'm trying to remember if New York does. I know they brought back the Trump
New Jersey
team.
Generals?
Yeah, they brought back the Generals. So
in Memphis.
Are we going to talk about that?
USFL?
We might have to, right? I mean, baseball, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh, that's right. We get more football? Absolutely. New Jersey, Birmingham, Pittsburgh. Tampa Bay, is that the new one? Hang on, let me I see the Houston Gamblers. I'm like, oh wait a minute, I don't think so. Michigan Panthers. All right, so New Jersey, Michigan, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Birmingham, New Orleans, Houston. Is Houston Gamblers. I'll be damned. Tampa Bay Bandits. All right, there you go.
It's the biggest oxymoron name in the entire league. The Texas Gamblers, and gambling's basically illegal in the entire state.
I don't like gambling in Texas, man.
How do you not even allow Texas Hold'em in your own state?
That's funny.
That's just a joke.
And you watch everybody go to WinStar right across the border, and it's just a massive poker room. Oh my God, dude! It's the juiciest poker room in the country.
Bunch of squares or bunch of fish?
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I got to get back into the online poker thing. It's really tough for me because I used to play a bunch of tournaments. I've made a decent amount. I know you've made a lot more than me. Hell, you were doing it as a full-time thing for a little while. But I've made 4 digits. I've done pretty well for myself for a recreational player.
Sure.
But the issue that I have is that when I'm in these tournaments and you're in the grind for 5-6 hours, whatever, it's tough for me to focus while I have an article due at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
So I can't really balance the actual tournament schedule with the workload that I get. So that's kind of why I put the pause on it.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. But of course, even though I like my naps and we make jokes about it, I take my work very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So I will always make deadlines if I can.
Sure.
And I feel like that's part of the reason why I kind of took a break on poker, was because once games picked up post-COVID, I was writing articles every night. I just didn't have the time.
Right. Very good. I was a
Cooper Kupp guy. I might want to guard him.
The obvious pick, huh?
It's always the obvious pick, isn't it? I mean, it was Tyreek Hill in the opening game.
Zodwig wants to know if y'all got any of those NASCAR picks for that race at the
I'll tell you what, though. NASCAR, I fell out of the loop last season. I forgot who even won the thing. Who won the thing last year?
I don't remember.
Chase Elliott won 2 years ago. Who won the thing last year?
I think it was another youngster. I think it was another kid. That's a nice pass right there.
It was a hell of a pass.
Might want to. What do you say? Guard him. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it was Larson. Larson won.
Oh, that's right.
Because
Yep.
he got thrown off for using a slur, and then he came back and he's the best racer on the planet. So yeah,
Brownsbacker said, if you've never been to a race at Talladega, you do yourself a favor and go. I've seen the track. I've been to the track. I've not seen a race there. It's very cool. I would love to do that. I hear the infield is insanity the night before the race. So where are your articles posted? StatSalt or winnersandwhiners.com.
I'd say based on how it's gone in the last year, about 99% of my articles are on StatSalt.
There you go. I think Houston Gamblers. Oh, they hired Kevin Sumlin. Man, it is a who's who of retreads as far as
it's really the best though, because you think that you can just fade someone every time, and then you look across and you see Jeff Fisher on the other sideline, and now all of a sudden you're in a really tough spot.
Now what do you do, smart guy? Stafford make over 278 yards? I don't think so.
They're gonna need Garoppolo to score a couple of times because they might open up a lead and they might start running the ball a decent amount. But if the Niners can clamp down on the run, then Stafford should be in decent shape.
Nathan Stern says there's a poker hall in El Paso. That's Spanish for the Paso, by the way, Scott. I don't know if you knew that. Is it legal? Is it in El Paso? Is it in Texas? Is it in Mexico? Is it in Nuevo Laredo? That's a sister city from El Paso, right? Or am I crazy? Or is it Matamoros? No, that's California. Now I want to know. I always said, no way the cars are blur. What? Well, they sure are. I don't get it. You get it?
I'm looking. I think he's trying to say blue.
The cars.
If that makes any better sense.
Okay, sure.
I'm looking at the keyboard and I'm trying to figure out the actual keys next to the one that doesn't make any sense. The E is right next to the R, so I'm assuming it's supposed to say blue.
Help us help you. Someone Arizona's still paying him off for losing. I'm sure that's true. I'm sure that's absolutely true.
He had himself a little Charlie Strong decline there. Like he started off at A&M or Texas, then he went down to South Florida, and someone moved down to Arizona, and now you have no idea where they are. Of course, for someone now he's not even he's in this league. Right. I don't know where the hell Charlie Strong is. Probably a position coach somewhere, but that's kind of the point.
JC Stone says poker room in El Paso. Bring your pistola. Pistola. I wouldn't doubt that. Troy wants to know if any live bets to put in. Let's take a look, Scott. Let's see if I can donk away some more money today. I ain't done yet, baby.
Well, I already hit the Stafford pick. I am liking Garoppolo interception. I'm not sure what the price is there. I'm going to have to look for it. But if you can find an in-game Garoppolo pick, the game flow does seem like it's going to force Garoppolo to throw a bit more than he wants to.
I got drive prop. Oh, God damn it.
I'm going to take a drive prop with the Niners. It would be punt or pass for me.
I was going to play field goal.
Okay. All right.
I was going to play field goal plus 375. Damn it. Trying to stay awake in the UK.
It's going to be wild if we see Stafford and Burrow in a Super Bowl. Put that on your bingo card.
Trying to stay awake in the Hamlin Kaplan, man. Good to have you, man. Good to have you. Might switch to the fishing channel for a boost. You ever watch the Forest Wood tour or anything? You ever watch the Bassmaster stuff?
I cannot say that I have. I ventured into bowling a little bit. It didn't take, but fishing is something I've never actually tried to watch. That I can't do.
Fair enough. Where's Hank Strand? We need him. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, we needed to matriculate the ball down the field, David. No question about it. I've been to one. I'd like to have been to one of Steen's poker rooms. We had a good time, man. I took advantage of the fact that I had a microphone that went over the entire room. Nice. I would do a soup of the day announcement. I would make up stuff about the soup. I'd ask the waitress what the soup of the day was. And it was. We had a lot of fun. It was more fun than the average poker room.
Did you have a favorite soup of the day?
Tomato bisque.
Okay.
I'd juice that up pretty good.
Put cheese on that. You got a bread on the side.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a nice soup.
Grilled cheese, tomato soup. Hell of a combo.
Niners need to have a drive here, buddy. They really do.
They do.
You got punt for this drive?
I don't have anything.
Oh,
you just said you have drive props, so I assume that you were going to be
that's going to leave a mark. Oh, he couldn't stay in bounds, really?
I thought he could have, but I guess he couldn't have. Nice catch by Ayuk, though.
When I was a when I was a world-class athlete and with 4.4 speed, I know I would have been able to stay in bounds there. Howard Hessman died. God damn it! Really? I did not see that. Oh man,
That's a
that
false start.
sucks. I liked Howard Hessman. I will always think of him as Johnny Fever. I know he had a show after that where he was like the teacher or something.
You can just remember him for the best show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Burrow and Garoppolo after the year that Allen, Rodgers, Mahomes, and Brady on it. That would be funny. That really would be funny.
It would.
And I think it's going to be the last year we don't have Burrow on that list, by the way.
I am going to ask, though, because I feel like we're going to go back to the game that already happened. Is Burrow already top 5?
I think he has to be, right?
I think he has to be, too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you keep him out of top 5, because I've been in some group chats, of course, with some friends, and there was a conversation before the playoffs if Burrow was better than Dak.
Mhm.
And I do think that's a good conversation to have. At
Mhm.
least a couple of weeks ago or a month ago. Now it's not even close.
No.
You just take Burrow all day, every day. But I feel
Yep.
like that's where he was at. Burrow was top 10, probably around 8. Now you make a Super Bowl with the Bengals.
Yep.
You're probably top 5.
Brownsbacher says, cheapest supper in the world tonight. Can I interest you in 2 sheets chili, which I don't know what that is, but chili onion kraut dogs for $2. Fuck yeah. I'm all about, let's go. I'm all about chili dogs. God damn. I don't eat them. I probably have one chili dog every 2 years. Some of those things I just can't do to myself anymore. Even if I'm not completely on a diet, I can't do that. Chili dog is one of them because I love hot dogs. A good fat hot dog, man. Nothing better. Good broad. I bet Burrow has no trouble getting dates.
Burrow's biggest contribution is going to be him completely reviving the cigar industry after every title he wins.
Yeah, that's outstanding. I'm definitely. I don't know how I'm going to bet this one, but I'd really like. I think part of my heart's going to be rooting for Cincinnati, no matter who I have my money on. There we go. Gonna get there? Yes, he did. Nice.
He is really just
nice.
I know I just mentioned Burrow being top 5. Is Samuel top 4, top 3? I don't know where the hell you put the guy.
No, he's top 5 for sure.
He has to be top 5. I just don't know where you'd put him. Of course, you got Adams, you got Tyreek. Like, is he better than Justin Jefferson?
I think so. Yeah, he's
Is
certainly
he better than Jamar Chase?
Are we talking about just as a receiver?
I don't know. I'd have to assume that I am defining you as an overall player who just so happens to play wide receiver.
Chase is a better receiver. Jefferson is not. I'll take Samuel over Jefferson. I'll take Chase over Samuel just for receiving. As far as a player goes, how can you argue with somebody that's that versatile out of the backfield?
I agree. I think Samuel has to be top 4.
No, Brownsbacker. We do not have sheets. You have sheets, Scott?
I do not.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I know, dude. I know, Zodwig. I'm the only guy that's behind. I feel like I'm the only one that doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
I'm doing a better job, though.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
It's a really good effort for you. This is something you've struggled with over the career with us. So, yes, you're doing a nice job. I'm not as excited about that under 20 right now, by the way.
Fair.
I'll put on my I have an Andy Reid mask. My son's girlfriend got me an Andy Reid, mask. It was COVID mask for Christmas 2 years ago, and or year before last, whatever. And I'll put that on. It's a little tight because I have apparently a gigantic melon. But there's a lot to shove in here, so it's
melon.
Kind of
we need ya. Get your suit on. Watched that the other day. I'll watch that movie every time it's on TV.
It's one of those, man. It's absolutely one of those. I call them hooked movies, where you turn it on and you're hooked. You're just done. Just ate Domino's? No, dude. No, not Domino's.
What's a party without Bubbles?
Hi, Bubbles.
There's so many great lines. I still think the most underrated throwaway line by Dangerfield in that is that no way the shape that I'm in, you can donate my body to science fiction.
Yeah,
it's an all-timer.
And another thing, you don't know shit about Vonnegut. When he's talking to Kurt Vonnegut.
He's talking to Kurt Vonnegut, yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It feels like a C. Bump it up. Add some multicolored graphs.
In fairness, Phil, it was a really big check.
I think you're underestimating the size of that check.
Good times. Good time. I like this. I'm trying to think of a bad movie that Dangerfield's been in because I love
I didn't think Lil Nicky was good. He had a small part in that, but that's not really his movie. He was just
I'm thinking of the big three. I'm thinking of the big three. I'm thinking of course, the one we were just talking about. I'm thinking of Easy Money and of course Caddyshack. Yeah. Brownsbacker, where are you from? Where do you live if you don't live in Cleveland? Somebody chose to back the Browns? Wow. That's the team you picked? I'm kidding.
I kind of admire it.
I love that team. I love that team so much. I really wanted to see him do well. There's so many teams. I really liked the Bengals. And, you and I did our show, Scott, and I told you I liked the Bengals to win that division. But
I thought Burrow would get killed. And I got that part of the prediction right. I thought Chase would be a top 10 receiver in the league. I got that right. I think I just underestimated how quickly Joe Burrow would be a star. Because I thought he would be really, really good at some point. I didn't think year 2 or 3. That seemed a little bit early.
I doubted his ability to stay upright for 17 games.
I thought it would be 2 more years before they were serious contenders. Turns out it took a year.
Zod, that's the funny shit right there. What's that Rodney Dangerfield movie where he goes back to school? Fuck, I can't think of the name. It's right here. Lost on both my Chiefs, as I always do. Yeah. Go with my gut. Research numbers, injuries, online. Like the kid of me grew up in Cincinnati through the 70s till 82. Yeah, yep. I get it, Robs. But congratulations. I mean, I know you lost your plays, but in 2 weeks, you're not going to give a shit about that. You're going to give a shit about the team that you grew up with is in the Super Bowl again. So, oh, that's right. Oh, you're in. Are you in? What part of West Virginia are you in? I've been to Morgantown a couple of times. I've been to Huntington, but I've performed in Morgantown. Love Morgantown. What a fucking West Virginia, beautiful state. You've been to West Virginia, right, Scott? You have to drive through there to get to Wisconsin?
I have. You didn't have to drive through, but I was there once. I forgot the occasion, but I was there once. It was nice.
Caddyshack, yeah, that's another hook movie for me. Any Rodney Dangerfield, any of those 3 movies, I'll sit and watch if it's plunk. Nice job, Stafford. If it comes on. I liked Easy Money too. Him and Pesci running around. Yeah, I'm all over the Rodney Dangerfield catalog. I'd like more. Oh. I did perform at his club. He had a club in two famous people had clubs in New York. There was Dangerfield's, of course, and then there was Grandpa's, which was run by owned by Al Lewis from the Munsters.
Mm-hmm.
So
cool.
Yeah, I don't want a big time. Yeah, I met Grandpa, buddy. I worked his club, so yeah.
I mean, you already are big timing when you called him meat.
I guess we're gonna need more ditch diggers right in the lumberyard, Danny. That's just the most quotable movie. Odell, man, look at that.
I'll tell you what, though, Odell has some of the smoothest hands in the league.
Yep, he
just
really
every
does.
catch he makes just seems so effortless. Now he does go for too many one-handers, which causes him to miss some catchable balls. But
little push.
Guy's got hands.
They could have called that. I'm still on the Niners, Chris. I'm still on the Niners in this game. I
didn't want to lay 3.5 with a coach that's 0-for against the other coach.
Can't do it. I've got the unders my play here. I had the Niners there out of part of a teaser that's already fucked. So, oofta. Yeah, that was my premiums. My premiums was over 54 in the Chiefs game. I'm about to go 38 in the first half, feeling good there. That shit the bed, and then had the teased Chiefs -1 and Rams 9.5. Or
that's somehow an even worse beat. You're about to have 38 in the first half, and you lose the over with overtime.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Yeah. Brutal. First game I ever saw live at Riverfront was Chiefs Bengals. Kenny Anderson, Isaac Curtis, Ken Riley. Oh yeah, that's bringing back some memories when they used to have the. That might have even been before the stripes when they just had the word Bengals across their orange helmet. They looked just like the Browns, except it said Bengals on their helmet. Rams -3, Lock City. Lock City, Scott. That's where we're going, baby. Take me down to Lock City, would you?
We'll see about that.
Lock. It's a fucking lock. You got a Niners ticket? Tear it up. Just fucking tear it up right there.
That's a brutal drop. Cup.
Online strips without clothing. That's the best kind of strips. Enjoy, boys. Write it down.
I'm more of a strip steak guy, but that works too.
Wow.
Las Vegas strip's pretty nice too.
Are you KC strip?
Yeah.
Are we big enough time we're getting spammed? That's great, man.
I can't believe Cup dropped that. That would have been a gain of 30. Hit him right in the hands.
Oh, Browns backer has to be hating life right there. Dave's good is on the 49ers as well. Excellent.
NFL receivers are so fascinating. Like, they can just drop the easiest ball and then catch the most difficult pass on the following play.
Huh, they did something I can't block them. I don't care for it. Don't care for it. Huh, all right. Well, I would not go to that website. That is neither endorsed nor sponsored by the good folks at winnersandwhiners.com. We have nothing to do with the Love Face online strips without clothing. Is that are you stripping on the part-time, Scott?
If I keep losing bad beats, I might have to, but no, not that I know of. Stafford interception is going to keep my clothes on for the day.
Whoo! All right. That's excellent news.
We'll save the other stuff for the Winners and Whiners only fans.
Oh, God. Oh, here's a beautiful one. If OBJ makes the Super Bowl along with Cincinnati, making it earlier than most Browns fans, we're going to be grabbing for the booze to drown the shame. Oh, God. What team does Deshaun Watson play for next year if you had to bet? Who doesn't love face? I'll answer that in a minute. I've been to Morgantown many, many times. They stopped selling couches on Thursday as not to burn them the games. Salvation Army and a couple other strip stores. I think he's serious.
Oh, you got to catch that ball, man.
Oh, that's right. They burned the fucking couches up there. I forgot about that.
Oh, you got to catch that.
Yeah.
So that's a tough ball to track, but I mean, you got to get your hands on that, man. Good throw by Stafford.
Still haven't seen the cup drop. My God. What are you
on Windows 97?
What are you two guys with guy with a fucking 2 cups and a string? Well, you can look at this drop too. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's just a poor adjustment.
Didn't even hit him in the hands. Hit him in the forearm.
Hit him in the forearm. Yep. Bengals were preseason 125-1. Yeah, that's the
I believe it.
That's a nice ticket to cash right there. They're going to be good in that division for a while, man. You see this Baltimore team getting any better anytime soon?
I think that they will. They're missing a bunch of guys because of injury. Of course, Lamar got injured, but Peters didn't play a snap this year. Humphrey got injured with like a month and a half left in the season. I still think Harbaugh is potentially the best coach, second best coach in the league. He'd probably go Belichick, but I think Harbaugh's a genius. So, of course, he'll always make them good, worst case scenario. But I think the real question about that division is going to be Pittsburgh. Because you're in now the post-Big Ben era, and we know Big Ben sucked this year, but they still somehow made the playoffs. I'm not sure how they pulled that off. But you're looking at what their future holds and what they can do at the quarterback position, because the supporting cast is clearly there. They just didn't have a quarterback to throw the ball. So the question is, do they make a move? Do they just bank on Mason Rudolph? Do they try to trade up and draft Kenny Pickett? You have a lot of different situations there. The Bengals should be good for a long time. The Ravens, I think, will be good for a long time with Harbaugh. Cleveland, I think, is somewhere in the middle, but I think they're going to end up signing Mayfield again. So I think he's going to hold them back for another couple of years. Pittsburgh, to me, is the big wild card in that division.
I don't hate Mason Rudolph. I'm not sure he's the long-term answer, but I think he's better than Big Ben over the last 2 years.
That's correct, but that's not saying much. But the point is, right now, Pittsburgh has a choice between Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins. If you think I'm picking either of them to lead Pittsburgh to a division title, you're out of your mind. That's all I'm saying.
Not with the Bengals and Ravens in that division, and not to mention the Browns as well. Still got a hell of a defense there in Cleveland. Yeah. Nathan Cerner says, need those Cougars tonight. Let's cheer them on. I'm down with that. -5.5. Fuck yeah. LFG, baby. Get those Cougars. Mason's a shitty fighter. He leads with his head too much, David. That's the problem. He can't leads with his head. Or
it's not his fault. Garrett had a weapon. What's he supposed to do?
If you believe some stories, he ain't tough enough to back up what he says. So, again, Rumor has it Myles Garrett isn't a fan of Mason Rudolph. I don't know, man. I don't know if I believe the stories about that he said something. If he dropped the bomb on Garrett down there, I don't know. What do you think, Scott?
I personally don't think he said it, but I did find it interesting that there was really no audio released of the actual incident when you can find audio of like every other thing that goes on in the NFL, especially since it was a Thursday night game. So, of course, it was the only game on TV. You have the refs mic'd up. You have like some players mic'd up, and the entire audio just vanished. I find that a little bit weird, which I think you could use as a conspiracy argument. But I do personally, unless it's proven, I'm never going to assume the guy just is an outright racist. You know, I believe in the innocent until proven guilty argument. So as far as I'm concerned, unless it was proven, I'd be on Rudolph's side. But I do find some of these situations surrounding it with the audio disappearing or whatever extremely peculiar. Let's put it that way.
I'm also still not sure. Well, I am sure. I don't think whatever he said warrants getting bashed over the head with a helmet.
Gave from 54. I don't even know if that had the leg. I can't tell.
I'm just watching Stafford get hit on a replay.
I'm just saying I can't tell if that had the leg or not.
Steve Martinez said, sorry about the Chiefs, but I did hit the Bengals live plus 20. That's fantastic, Steve. You apparently have watched Chiefs games before. They don't fucking blow people out for, they had the leg. It just wasn't good.
It did. I mean, I couldn't really tell because he kicked it directly straight. He just kicked it too straight, if you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, he didn't. No draw, buddy. Yeah, the Chiefs, for whatever reason, just cannot. They just can't put people away. They just refuse to get that big, gigantic 28, 31-3 lead. For as good as that team is, they don't do it very often. And you let a team squirm around, hang in the game, start believing in themselves, and you knew how it was going to go. It was like watching a car crash in slow motion. It was like watching a replay the last fucking time these two teams played. So. Very good. It hit the white line. I thought it went further than that.
I did not think it had the distance. But I mentioned that going into the game. You know, Gay was short from 47. He had a week to recover, and the kicking game definitely is a significant advantage for San Francisco.
They do, but they must think he's pretty recovered to let him try from 54.
I think they'll let him try from 52 plus again today. I'll tell you that much.
We'll see. Does Burrow give you early Montana like vibes?
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't know how you say no to that. He took a team that didn't have many expectations, and he just is cool, calm, and collected. And people can try to compare him to Brady because that's the cool thing to do. Compare him to the recent greatest of all time guy for the half slow athletic white guy. He reminds me a lot more of Montana than he does Brady.
I can't remember what year Montana was in when he threw that pass to Dwight Clark.
83, wasn't it?
No, not what you know.
Oh, okay. You mean like actual? Okay.
Was Montana drafted in 81, right? Was that his third year in the league? Second year?
That's why I said 83. I'm pretty sure it was 83 or 84.
Yes,
so.
83. 80. I'm almost certain it was 83. You remember that, Scott?
Before my time, but as a Cowboys fan, of course, I'm familiar with the play.
You know what I remember about that game? I was on Dallas.
Okay.
I was watching.
I don't blame you for being on Dallas. You were in a good spot there until an unproven quarterback just had a great throw.
82 Super Bowl. Oh, the 81. Oh, was it earlier than that? Okay. All right. Montana's wife, Jennifer, great looking. You know, I don't know what it is with these professional athletes. A lot of them have attractive spouses. Have you noticed that, Scott? Have you ever happened to notice that?
The what?
A lot of the professional athletes seem to have fairly attractive spouses. It's
very, very odd. You think it has to do with the money they're making?
It would be cynical to say that, Scott. I don't want to insult the ladies. I don't want to insult half the population to say that.
They're well connected.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Joe Montana, not a handsome young fella, might have done all right if he was an investment banker. But trying to talk yourselves into the Chiefs' first half. Yeah, I had a hunch about the Chiefs' first half. You know, they generally get off to slow starts in games in the playoffs. I just had a hunch they were going to be focused and come out balling today, and they did. And then they did their backslide thing where they performed like the Chiefs in the 8th game of the season, where they just go in the fucking shell in the second half. Montana was drafted 79. That's right. It was the 79. No, it was a 78 Cotton Bowl. I thought it was a 79 Cotton Bowl. Okay, all right.
Although I think that to answer
I'm,
your
I'm
question,
gonna I'm gonna believe Rob here. Third, I knew it was third round. Yeah.
when it
Play the
comes
book.
to
Okay.
Montana, I do see.
Okay, man, they're still in the huddle, dude. You're serious.
I'm sorry, but Samuel got rocked. Oh,
Getting ready to snap the ball.
God.
Pre-snap motion. And here's the snap. I bet Samuel gets rocked. Oh, yeah. He got jacked up.
That's not a penalty, by the way. That's a terrible call.
Yep, it is. Well,
that's a hell of a hit.
I don't know what you're supposed to do there, man. He led with his shoulder.
That's a complete injury reaction penalty. That's a clean hit. I don't know how else you're supposed to hit the guy. Yep. That's a hell of a hit. Oh, they didn't call it a penalty. They picked up the flag.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That was a good hit. I mean, you just, your quarterback leads him to get killed. That's on Garoppolo. But to go back to the Burrow point, he reminds me a lot of Montana, but he reminds me of Montana, but he has a certain swagger about him that I do think is not really Montana-like, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a Namath swagger with a Montana actual game talent, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Because he reminds me a lot of Namath off the field.
Uh-huh.
The post-game stuff, the drip, the actual bling. It's a lot. The only thing he's missing is a real, long fur coat. That's the only thing missing in his Namath wardrobe. But
it's not the Super Bowl yet, so we'll see what he's wearing at the Super Bowl.
Just saying.
You never know.
I feel like he's a mix between Montana on the field and Namath in the postgame. That's that's the vibes I get from Joe Burrow.
Super Bowl III at the Coliseum in LA. Was that the when you had that famous picture of Namath on the Chase Lounge with all the reporters around? I thought that was at the Super Bowl. All right, now I'm gonna look this up and we'll see where it was. Because that. By
the way, Zodwick, to answer your question, is it Garoppolo's fault for throwing it there? Yeah, he got his receiver killed. Now I know you can make the argument. Well, he was open. If you look at the route, Samuel was open for about the 2 seconds prior, and he threw the ball leading Samuel into the defender. Most of the time, when the receiver gets decapitated as soon as he catches the ball, you can blame it on the quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely true. It was in Miami. So, yeah, it was the pool in Miami, but I thought it was in LA, but it was Miami. So, he has Mahomes' calm, cool, and passive aggressiveness in the not like Brady with a little bit of swag. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good description. Take D-Bowl under at this point. Yeah. Yep, right before Super Bowl III by the pool. Exactly. And that was in Miami.
I don't know how badly Samuel got injured, though, because he didn't hit his head. And he's talking to the guy on the sideline. I think he's okay. I see. Usually you assume concussion, it's over, but you look at the replay, there was no helmet contact at all. So I think he just might have gotten the wind knocked out of him.
Also whips your neck. You getting hit like that. A lot of times your body stops and your head goes backwards. So, yeah, it looks like are they talking to the neurologist? They are talking to the neurologist. That would be my guess. That would be I would guess that's a physician.
How great of a joke is it going to be, by the way, that if Garoppolo wins this game, he has more Super Bowl appearances than Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. The Kittle, there we go.
That's right? Rodgers only has one.
Yes.
Right?
Did you somebody wanted to know if we're taking comedy club groupies? No, yes, for about a 6-month period. Other than that, I was together with my future wife. But we had we were on a break. And I did make up for lost time, and it was fine. There's not necessarily groupies like a band or anything. It's just more like hanging out with people and talking to them afterwards. And, you've kind of got a leg up because they've seen you. They know you're funny. But it's not like, you're not backstage running through a fucking gauntlet or anything. Mm-hmm. Let's tie in Friday's show. Do you think Pete Rose bet on the Bengals tying in Friday's show with this one? Yeah, Farrah and the pantyhose. Oh yeah, that's right. And the mink coat on the sideline. Washington State or Colorado bailout game tonight.
I can truly tell you I had not put any research into that game, but blindly take the home team. If I had to guess.
Very good.
Don't know what the spread is, don't know whatever, but that
Super.
seems like a classic conference game between two mediocre programs. The home team usually fares well.
Trying to find it here.
That's my quick 2-second no research handicap.
Is that your snap cap?
That's my snap cap there. Just it seems like one of those games where just the home team, whatever.
Does Roseanne have male groupies? God, I hope not. What was a town city you liked working the clubs and one you didn't? Oh, well, Cleveland was one of my favorites. Nick's downtown, which was just the Cleveland Comedy Club, sorry, which was just a unbelievable, fantastic club, best club in the country for just a straight comedy club. I always had a good time in Cleveland in the flats and all that, going to the games. A town I didn't particularly like, Beaumont, Texas.
Okay. Do you want to talk about it?
No, I was down looking at the showroom before the show, and the bouncer said to me, "Do you have any of those N-word jokes?" I said, "I'm sorry, what?" And he repeated it, and I said, "Surprisingly, I don't." And he said, "Well, you should, because you're in Beaumont, Texas. That's the home of the Ku Klux Klan." So, and it's a horrible, like an oil town. It smells all the time. So, yeah, I got in East Texas. You could pretty much have that whole fucking thing for me. There's parts of Texas I like, but East Texas, nope, you can have it. San Francisco
might see history here. Gould, if he misses, first ever postseason miss.
Have you guys ever seen those hastily made Cleveland tourism videos? No, I have not. It sounds like something that I would definitely enjoy.
I have seen those. There's two of them, I believe. Yeah, they're on YouTube. They have millions of views.
Oh, well, okay. Just none of those millions are mine, buddy.
Fair enough.
We have millions of views too, just not all at once.
That is true. I walked into the store, said it was open 24 hours. I walk in, said they were closed. I asked him what the story was. He said the sign said 24 hours. He said, yeah, not in a row. Stephen Wright jokes.
There we go. There you go, everybody. Okay. Now I have to check out the Cleveland tourism videos.
And we're in halftime.
Yeah.
10-7.
Any surprises? Game. Any surprises there, bud?
Truth is, this game has gone exactly the way that I thought it would. And that's dangerous because that's how the Chiefs' first half went against the Bengals. But
right.
I expected a hideous game where the Rams would commit some stupid mistakes, and you had a Stafford interception inside the 10. You had a field goal attempt, which you probably shouldn't have attempted in the first place. And you look up at San Francisco, by not completely beating themselves, is somehow winning the football game. So no, I'm really not surprised. You're
talking shit to Robbie Gould. I'm just watching the cut to commercial here. Is there talking shit to the kicker? My God.
I'm saying, have you seen anything that surprises you? Because I feel like this has checked all the boxes up to this point.
Yeah, Garoppolo's throwing the ball short. They're running the ball a lot. Defense has been good on both sides of the ball.
Rams, you look at the actual play-by-play, should probably be winning, but you have the interception and the missed field goal, and the Niners are just slowly and methodically letting the other team self-destruct.
Zonwick says Mitch Hedberg died too soon. Absolutely. I take blame for this. I don't know if I've ever told you my partner Jinx story. It's something I probably should have shared with you, Scott. I take personal responsibility. I've killed 3 partners.
Okay, cool.
I had my mentor and writing partner got cancer, died.
Can I ask how long it took for these people to die? Because I want to know how much time I have left.
First one took a while, about 60. He was about 60. Now my other partner that I wrote for Saturday Night Live, we wrote for the news when Nealon was on there. We did the jokes for him. He got stabbed to death in New Orleans when he was about 23, 25. Okay. And then Hedberg, my buddy, and I were writing a sitcom for him. And he died, and I'm guessing Hedberg was whatever the fuck he was, 40, 38, whatever. So yeah, you got a little time left, but I'd be careful. That's all I'm saying.
I'll keep that in mind.
Excellent.
Tell me this after we've been what has it been? 2 years, 3 years?
2 years. Yeah, we've been together 2 years now.
Going steady for 2 years.
This is like the longest Tinder. No, I guess it's Grindr, isn't it? This is like the longest Grindr date ever, where we still haven't met.
Yeah, we got to reach out for the app. We can get sponsored or something.
Live bet Stafford another pick.
I said I like Garoppolo to throw a pick, but I'm not going to gamble on Stafford to throw a second one. You could. I do think Garoppolo will throw one.
I'm trying to see if I got it. I've got receiving yards still. Touchdown passes. Rushing. Damn it. That sucks. Kevin says Rams are winning this game outright. Outright, Scott.
I mean, they very well could. I picked the Niners, but I also picked them plus 3.5. So I'm expecting a close game that should come down to a final possession, maybe a field goal. But
even money on the Rams right now to win. You're interested in that?
I think the Niners are going to win. So no.
All right. Okay.
But,
very good.
I'll tell you one thing. I got to ask you: is there a bigger waste of money in sports than a halftime show? Who cares?
No. We had in Kansas City. I don't know if you watched the halftime show, but they had the guy that sings like Applebee's, the country song. That dude, fancy like Applebee's. It's on the commercial.
That doesn't sound like Creed.
You fucking hate it. But they did the on-field halftime talking heads, and you couldn't fucking hear them. They couldn't hear anything. It was the funniest thing ever I've ever seen. Brownsbacker said, "Have either one of you ever experienced the gout?" No, but one of my best friends has had 3 or 4 bouts of gout, and he says they are not pleasant with the uric acid build up and everything.
The only thing I know, the only health problem I'm dealing with right now, I have brutal acid reflux. Brutal.
Oh, that sucks.
Kicks my ass. That's pretty much it.
What do all 3 players with the first name Aurelio have that played in the Major League Baseball? All 3 have in common besides the name. Were they all named Aurelio Rodriguez? Aurelio. No, because
they all play for the Tigers.
That could be. Or Aurelio Lopez.
It's D from Detroit, so I'm hoping that's the clue. They all played for the Tigers? Question mark. I don't know.
Not like Dominican Republic. Where they're from? I don't know. Pitchers. David the Italian, 5-car pileup in Vegas last night. 9 dead. Jesus Christ. Ran a red light. Too much speed. Fuck me. That's brutal. Just that, it's horrible when you hear it, but when you have kids, it's like it's just an extra level because you just immediately put yourself in that position easier. And that would be just fucking awful, man. And just getting in, Matthew. We are both on the Niners plus 3.5 here.
And
I'm on the under, and I on the show I took the Niners. My actual money is on the under in this, and I had the Niners in a teaser that went bye with the.
My main play was Stafford interception that already cashed. So.
Yep, very good. I'm going to take a quick break here. Can you keep the crowd entertained? Are you not entertained?
I'll do my best.
All right, I'll be back in a second.
JC talking about missing Maroon 5. That's fair. Definitely miss Katy Perry, and I don't remember if it was a left shark or right shark. I think it was a left shark. But I was mentioning before because I saw that there was some halftime performance going on in the background while they cut to the actual panel talking about the game. Does anybody at the actual games enjoy the halftime show? Because all I know is if I was at a sporting event and it's halftime, I'm getting food. I'm going to the bathroom. Like, I'm getting the stuff done that I won't be able to do in the second half. Why would I care about a random singer showing up to do a half concert for 15 minutes? I just never got the appeal of it. For Super Bowl, I get it. You have millions of people watching it, whatever. But it just seems like a massive waste of time. And if you actually like halftime shows, it could be good. They could be the 2000 Super Bowls where you had old rock bands. They come out, they do a couple. But I just feel like it's a waste of time. I don't really know what the point is. James, why I'm in the dark, it's because I have lights that I could put on behind me, but if I do, then it's in the glare. So there's like a little bit of glare behind me based on where I'm positioned. So I kept it in the dark because you'd see a massive halo over my head. So I tried to get it done that way. So just bear with me there. You can see my face. That's all that matters. But Important question. What did I have for dinner? The answer is nothing yet. I'm probably going to order some Chipotle. So we'll see. I could do it now, but I'll probably do it after the game. Hamlin saying that Medvedev looks like a Bond villain. I definitely can see that. He definitely gives off the villain vibes in a good way. I think he's a great player. Of course, he screwed me out of money, but I do see the Bond comparison there, or the Bond villain comparison. I think that's a good call.
Who's that?
Medvedev, the tennis player.
Oh,
he said he looks like a James Bond villain. I can see that.
Yeah, he does. And I forgot, Scott. I've had one more death that on my hands. Not a partner. He was a kid that I mentored from an open micer, and he was 24 and OD'd in a hotel room in Springfield, Missouri, on a gig that I got for him, that I sent him on for his first headlining gig. So that's when I gave up comedy. That was 2004. Yeah, that's brutal. Just fucking brutal. Anyway, so
see JC talking about Medvedev being on an ATP 1000 next weekend. I'm not sure if he's going to play it. I know that the ATP 1000s are a big deal, but if you look at Medvedev at the end of that match, it seemed like he was cramping. He had a couple of visits from the trainer. They're going to probably give him some type of physical exam and see how it turns out, but he might need an extra week or two off after just the war that he went through in this match, the Felix 5-set match, the 4 sets against Tsitsipas weren't a picnic either. He should play, but I think there is a chance if there's something bothering him with his leg, he might just skip the tournament.
There you go. Matthew Torbeck wants to know what I have for dinner. Dude, believe it or not, I had a salad. We went to a place last night that I've fallen in love with, a place called Doc Green's that has salads, paninis, and wraps. And I got a panini last night, and I got a salad to go to eat during the game today. So I ate what? It was a chef salad, had nice chunks of turkey and ham, all the chef stuff, and little light ranch on that. And that's what I had before the show. I had that in the fourth quarter of the Chiefs game. So
why do I feel like paninis are out of place there?
It's
salads. It was wraps and paninis. Panini seems like a different type of food to throw in there.
It is kind of weird. It is kind of weird. No, I don't think David, by listening and laughing, you're at death risk. No, unless we start working on a project together, you should be fine. So
that's the only thing saving me. I haven't met him in person.
If I come to any of you and go, hey, would you guys like to take it? I would say no. Fuck no. Get away from me, fat man. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. But you've dodged the bullet. See, and you do it. You're like you're living in a final. What's the movies? Final Destination. Yeah, you're like doing that where you just fucking stay in your house. You don't do anything. You've got all the sharp objects covered. You just stay in your house and fucking watch sports and bet them. So.
See, people could think it's a dumb movie because it is, but if you're on a car, if you're on the highway and you see a car or truck that's carrying lumber in front of you, you're moving out of the way, whether you like the movie or not. You're moving out of the way, which is how it works.
Scott's the Black Widow. Yeah, dude. Believe it or not, it worked on me, man. It troubled my psyche for a long time that I'd had so many people that I worked with close to me that met untimely ends. So yeah. By the way, speaking of ODing, if you haven't watched Dope Sick yet, I think it's on Hulu. Michael Keaton, I highly recommend it. You'll be, if you're not pissed off at pharmaceutical companies now, you will be at the end.
Isn't Euphoria also like a drug-based show?
I do not watch that. I do not. My wife and daughter watch Euphoria. I don't watch it. I'm watching the. I started watching the pandemic one on HBO.
Good, bad?
Station 11. It's very entertaining. It's definitely a different twist on the post-apocalyptic worlds that you're used to seeing in movies. It's very interesting so far. I think I'm 7 episodes in.
Cool.
Dude, you guys are about to talk me into start looking at tennis. It does seem like there's a lot of opportunities out there. I know a lot of people that I respect their betting abilities spend a lot of time betting tennis. So
I saw somebody asking before for us to do golf picks on Wednesday. So people want opinions on every sport. Tennis is one that I follow. So it was really an annoying tournament because I had 2 separate tennis play videos and they both lost for play of the day. But every time somebody asked on the actual joint show for leans or for picks in the middle of the show,
Nailing
I
it.
hit like 90%.
Yep.
So my overall numbers were good, but the standalone play is lost. So it's one of those.
Zodwig says Ozark, best show since Breaking Bad. I'm a big fan. I haven't watched the new season yet because there's only 7 of them, so I have to I'm just really I'm saving him. I'm kind of like I'm saving for dessert. So I've got a couple other things I'm making my way through right now. Join the tennis club, members only. That's outstanding. I think I finally left my members only jacket behind in the last and final move, but I think up until then I still had it tucked away in my closet.
I used to be extreme tennis. Like I was betting challenger events in the middle of my college classes. Like I was in the back row streaming some random back alley tennis match, like with some guys ranked in the 200s. Like I had that type of moment, and I kind of pulled back on that. So I dabble, or I don't really dabble. I bet ATP. WTA, I bet a little bit, not much, just because nobody can serve on the women's tour.
Right.
Like, it's really just people just breaking nonstop. So I find that completely chaotic. But I bet a decent amount of ATP men's tennis.
I like tennis. I like watching the give and take. I would watch. It's one of the few sports I'll sit and watch if I don't have action on it. You know, I'll sit and watch a tennis game, a tennis match, whatever. Badminton. I don't know anything. I know Near East, very good. India, Pakistan, very good badminton. Same with
same thing with cricket.
Same with cricket, right? Exactly. Which I like cricket as well. I'll tell you what, we're going to start seeing in a couple of weeks. You're going to start seeing Olympic bets, which I have a fucking blast with. So we'll do that for sure.
Lay whatever the price is for. I'm trying to remember some of the events.
Oh, dude, there's over or unders in ski jumping. I made a shit ton of money on curling last time. I hit the USA upset plus 275 over Sweden and curl. I'm fucking it was.
I'm trying to remember what event I was going to say, but in general, the one main thing I'm looking at now is
it the biathlon, skeeting and shooting.
I was going to say for hockey, I would probably just take Canada and Russia and just go there because, as a reminder, there are not going to be NHL players being sent.
Right.
So you have to look for good domestic leagues, and Canada and Russia are the best 2 non-American leagues that there are. I think you'd agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure some of the my God, does he do everything but sell popcorn at halftime?
He's getting killed out there in several different play calls.
Relying on you guys for Olympics. So I've made money over like the last 3 Winter Olympics. This will probably be the one where I cool off, but yeah, we'll see. We're going to be banging. It's
by principle, I'll bet on Shaun White. Just by principle. Is he going to win? Probably not. But the fact that he's still actually in an event, he's earned the right for me to actually bet on him again.
There we go. All right. So we need to drive here, Scott. Which narrative do you like better of going to the Super Bowl? Do you like Stafford getting his redemption after the lost years in Detroit? You like the revenge tour of Jimmy Garoppolo as he tries to avenge that defeat at the hands of the Chiefs? What do you?
There was also a late hit on Samuel, but I kind of respect the move. The Rams are just trying to knock everybody to the floor.
Yep. What do you like on the narrative? What's your favorite storyline here, Scott? We've already got the cocky young quarterback usurping the other not quite as cocky, not quite as young quarterback in Mahomes. So we've got Burrow on one side. What's your favorite narrative for this side?
When my teams are not involved, I will always root for the more entertaining team.
Okay.
And even though I picked the Niners, and even though I also had the Niners beating the Cowboys, I did not have them beating the Packers. I think they're a boring football team because I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that good. Now, he's a game manager. He wins games. I'll give him credit, but he's not fun to watch. The Rams are extremely fun to watch. So if I did not have, even though I have money on the Niners, if the Rams win by 3 points, I'll be extremely happy.
Browns backer, I don't necessarily make bank on it. I did well, but it's only in it's only in perspective because they've got pretty low limits for the Olympic sports. They're not letting you jam heavy four figures on the Olympics. At least they didn't last time, so we'll see.
What about you though? Who are you rooting for? I don't enjoy watching Garoppolo play football. They win games, but Stafford's fun. He'll take some shots. He can throw the ball 70 yards. I think the Rams are a more entertaining team, so I'm hoping they win the game. But of course, money is more important than anything.
Yeah, it is.
And I like Stafford. I don't have any issues with him. He was my fantasy quarterback for a couple of years.
I like the Niners because they're kind of throwback. They play hella defense.
See, I called them boring. You called them a throwback. So it all depends on perspective.
Right. They run the football. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I like to see them shut down the high flying teams like they've done here with the Rams. I think this is a big drive. I think the first drive of the second half for both teams is always really big. Yeah, starting to get the running game going now, bud. It's gonna be a long day for Rams fans if they can get the running game going.
I mean, this is what happened in the second meeting, or even in the first meeting too. Of course, the Rams dominated the first half of the second meeting, but the first drive of pretty much the entire third quarter was just the Niners running it down their throats. That was just the entire second half. So, you have Trent Williams, you have a bunch of great offensive linemen, and you have yourself a squad. Now, of course, if you had another quarterback, a superstar quarterback, instead of a Garoppolo, the sky would be the limit for this team, and they would easily win the division every year because the rest of the team is so good. But I think the Niners just have an identity that makes them extremely successful against anybody, because unless you're fully equipped to battle up front for a full 60, I mean, you got some problems.
Zodwig saying Garoppolo has a 122.9 rating right now. Well, you know what? Okay, so Garoppolo's 8 for 13 for 137 yards with a touchdown.
He's on pace for like 20 pass attempts, which, sounds par for the course.
And he threw 19 last time, so yikes. Oh, that's not going to be well. Okay, he got rid of it.
That actually was a nice throw. He threw it out of bounds. That's exactly what you're supposed to do in this situation.
Absolutely. I like to see the kickers punch it out in the 50-yard line. That would be fun. I would take Janikowski out of retirement even.
I'm trying to think who would be the best option. Prater? Because he's a moose?
Yeah, probably. You don't even remember any kickers with square-on kickers, do you? Any games?
You mean the one that kicked directly ahead?
Yeah. Mark Mosley.
You had Ramsey, right, who had the all-time record?
No, Dempsey.
Sorry, I said Ramsey.
Yeah.
Sorry. Dempsey had the all-time record, and you had the MVP.
Yeah, the Mark
Mosley.
Yeah, he was the last one, I believe. Both of those defensive lines will eat up the Bengals' offensive line. Yeah, I
have to assume so, but
I got a bad feeling about that.
You got the ultimate quarterback equalizer, because even if you like Garoppolo, he's on the same stratosphere as Joe Burrow.
Well, and I roasted Burrow. I think in the video that you and I did together, I roasted Burrow for being cement-footed and not moving in the pocket and not helping out his offensive line. Of course, it fucking jumped up to bite me in the game today.
Well, I mean, that was what happened against Tennessee last week.
It was, and he still doesn't anticipate the pressure. He's good at getting out of it, but he still doesn't roll away from the pressure. Now, had Mahomes not done his dance routine in the second half, I would have said Mahomes is the best at it. But
well, that was really the thing, though, because you look at Burrow and the sacks that he took, whatever, it doesn't look that bad. He had about 3 Eli Manning Tyree plays, not with the throw, but just him escaping pressure with 3 guys around him. He could have easily been sacked like 5 times in that game.
Yep, absolutely true. And it would have completely changed the complexion of the game, because not only did he break out and not take a sack, he got first downs on those plays. So
a couple of third downs on there too.
Need a use check TD. It was always a nice price on use check. I'm curious to what you got it at, but I can't get touchdown. David, you got to be close to my age, because you've got a lot of the a lot of the same references. Do you know what that's a reference to? Do you know who it is?
I do not.
I'll give you a hint. It's the Cypriot tie maker.
Like, I'm supposed to know what the hell language that is. What the hell are you talking about?
It's Garo Your Premium.
Can I get the language of origin? Can you use it in a sentence? What? When you said a hint, that's supposed to make the question easier, not harder.
I need a use check 5-yard catch. I've fallen into the use check catch trap before. I have done this.
I gave up on that.
I've done this before. You're like, fuck, you just take one. He just runs it, and then So, and inevitably, of course, when I don't bet him, you know what he does. So we'll see. That's a great expression by an offensive lineman. Ooh, not good. Not good. All right, here we go, guys. Of course, it's already gone where you're watching, but use check in motion. This could be it. This could be it. He's turning around. He was there. Oh,
You
fuck.
were really hoping for the classic 3rd and 7 3-yard check down.
Use check was there in the flat for about 6 yards. God.
It's actually not a bad play, though, because you could have potentially either kicked it or gone for it on 4th. It's not a bad play to take the yards there. I hate it when you take the 3-yard check down when you're at your own 30. But when you're on the outskirts of field goal range and you might go for it in 4-down territory, I don't mind the check down there.
Got the big paw up there, man.
Yep. Almost a Garoppolo pick there.
Let's see if he can pin him deep again. There you go. Pulling out all the stops. They got Cup returning the kicks. Man, they got Cup back there. They got Debo back there.
I don't know if that stops. Well, they have to because Powell got injured. They carted him off, so the Rams are missing their punt returner.
Just watch the game in your background.
There's a little bit of like something popping over, but you can't see much of it.
I can't quite see it. No,
from the window.
It's the only light that comes in. It's the only light that permeates that. Do you have lights on?
As of right now, I have lights on in the background, but I don't have behind me because I have a light right there. If I turn it on, I get a halo effect on my head.
No, that's not good.
So that's why I figured you can see my face. The rest doesn't really matter.
See on DraftKings.
I am wearing pants though, so we got that going for
us. Very nice. I'm wearing my winter shorts. It's fine. I see on DraftKings they're having an NCAA tournament $100 entry. You guys know how many degenerates sign up? Thousands. I'm sure.
Too many.
I'm sure.
Too many.
But yeah. Saw Stafford jogging on the field and the small screen in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Times are tough, man. Times are tough. We got to watch the TV over your shoulder. Technically, if we could actually see that, you'd probably be in violation of NFL rules. In fact, I'm sure you would be.
You probably would be, but I'm assuming you can't really see anything besides like maybe a small corner. So I think we're in the clear.
I can see it is a screen, but I cannot see what's on it. I can see that the picture is changing.
I'll turn it just so the FCC or the whatever the hell don't break down my house.
Browns backers Alex Mack, Pro Bowl center, drafted and released by Cleveland. What a beast that was! Old man.
He also made the Super Bowl with Atlanta, didn't he?
That was him. Yeah, it was. Wasn't it? Yeah,
I think he was the center for that team.
Browns backer, is it a problem there in Cleveland with the ownership, the management? What's the deal? Why did OBJ say those bad things? Is it Stefanski? Is he just not like playing for Stefanski? What's the opinion of Browns fans up there? And I know you got a couple other guys that are outside of Cleveland. So
I mean, are you talking about how the organization's run or the actual leadership? Because I think Stefanski is a pretty good coach. Of course, he has some flaws. I'm not saying he's a top 10 guy. He's a bit hamstrung using Baker, wouldn't you agree? Especially an injured Baker for about 2 months last year or this past year.
Yep,
I mean, what's he supposed to do?
Yeah, I agree with that. I just don't know. I don't know why OBJ would say that.
Like, does Cleveland make the playoffs with Case Keenum? I don't know. But you can make an argument that when your options are a 60% Mayfield or Case Keenum, you're probably not going to make the playoffs the majority of your seasons.
I feel similar. Cooper Kupp not doing his Deebo Samuel impression. I feel similar to Cleveland as I do watching Kansas City and that offense. It's a tragedy that offense didn't get to go further than they did. And I feel the same way about that Cleveland defense. I think that's an elite defense. And for them just to be stuck in neutral and not make the playoffs this year, I think that's a damn shame.
Yeah. Especially after last year, you finally beat the Steelers. You won a playoff game.
Right.
You almost beat Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Very close.
Yep. They had a real shot there to beat Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Management is solid. I just think OBJ wanted to start him like LeBron. Fair enough. But you know what? He's done a remarkably good job of playing second fiddle on the Rams.
Well, it was a perfect timing because Robert Woods immediately got injured. So it just worked out perfectly to fill the void. But I do think that Brownsbacker might be onto something, though. I mean, he was in New York. He, of course, went to LSU. He then ended up in LA right now where he's doing well. And he's a superstar media guy. He likes the attention. He likes people constantly talking about him and being able to be known as the celebrity. And even though he was recognized in Cleveland, is definitely a significantly smaller market than the likes of New York, where he spent most of his early career, and LA. So I just might be one of those guys who needs to be in a big media market in order to be comfortable.
Yep, fair enough. Funny how he's never injured in LA. That's a great point. Scott, best team in college basketball. We gave our top 4. We on what, Friday show? Thursday show?
Yeah, we talked about teams that could win the title. We had 4. We weren't exactly sure about Gonzaga, just because now they're facing off against the cupcake portion of their schedule, which is the conference play. But we saw them look decent. I'm not a fan of the guard play, but I do like Teme and Holmgren. Besides that, you got, in my opinion, an Auburn team that is really, really good, but I'm not sure if they are capable of winning that many neutral site games in a row with a somewhat young core, because we know that they're really good at home. On the road, they're okay, but I think Auburn could piece it together. But if you want to know my right now teams that I would pick, Baylor's got to be in there. I think Gonzaga has to be in there, even though I probably wouldn't pick them to win the title, especially with the current odds. I throw in Auburn, and I throw in UCLA. I think UCLA is good enough with the experience and everything like that to make a run, because as a team, they are extremely organized. They're well coached with Mick Cronin, and they have the ability to win multiple ways, which I think is an extremely underrated part of being a very good basketball team. You can win in shootouts, or you could win by putting the clamps down, and UCLA is really good at both.
Where's Kentucky going to be? Where's Kentucky going to be ranked? We're talking about the SEC dominating the Big 12. Yeah, was Mizzou
Kentucky's good.
Was Mizzou the only team that let down the SEC?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though, is Zodwick's talking about if I still have Baylor in my top 4. I'm not talking about ATP top 25. I'm solely talking about chances to win the title. I think Baylor is one of the top 4 teams when it comes to winning a title chances, because, as I said before, they can win in a variety of ways. They have the elite backcourt. They have an underrated amount of size on the inside. Drew's a hell of a coach, but they're an elite defensive team that can shoot well from 3. And anytime you can do that, and you are the defending champions, you have a lot of guys from last year's team who who didn't play much, but they experienced the run last year. There is a decent amount of cohesion with the roster.
There you go.
At least that's my opinion on Baylor. You agree?
That's a big play there by the Rams, by the way.
I just think that that Baylor's upside is easily a top 2 team in the country, in my opinion.
I'm waiting for this Purdue team to start playing up to their expectations, like play the way they did earlier in the year. Big best college hoops conference. Does it have to be the Big Ten? I mean, what else you got? Who's our competitors?
I'm not going to go with the SEC.
No, I know, and I know there's been some talk about the SEC.
I think it's got to be the Big 12.
You think it's the Big 12?
I think you have a serious argument for the Big 12. Now, the SEC, of course, has Kentucky. They have Auburn. Bama's not ranked, but they just beat Baylor.
Right.
But Florida's not very good. I don't think Tennessee's very good. I know that they were ranked or whatever, but I don't think they're a good team. LSU just lost to TCU over the weekend. But, I mean, you mentioned the SEC getting manhandled by the Big 12. So wouldn't I just pick the Big 12 being a better conference than like the SEC through the head-to-head argument? Like, isn't that how that works?
Sodwick's got the A10.
I like the A10. I'm curious how many teams are going to get in, but I really like that VCU team. Very good defensively.
Yeah.
Davidson's good, but I think they rely a little bit too much on three-point shooting, where I think that athletically they're going to run into some problems in the tournament unless they hit a bunch of outside shots. But Richmond's okay too. They got some decent teams in the A10. I know you're being sarcastic, but they're a decent conference. No, Mountain West is really good too. Mountain West has a lot of good teams.
Yeah, they do. You're Colorado State, Boise State, San Diego State, all very good teams. Air Force is a great home dog if you get an opportunity.
Even Wyoming's decent.
Wyoming has played some good games this season. Absolutely. Yeah, this will be a. How many teams does the A10 get in? 3? They get 3 in.
So I know that 8-10 usually around 2.
I know what they usually get. Do they get 3 this year?
Probably not.
You get
I
there?
don't see them getting 3.
They're going to give that to him.
I don't know what. Truth is, I thought he was short.
Looked like he was short. I'm trying
I
to.
thought he was short by half an inch, but no matter what the ruling is, you can't challenge it because
the near line. Now the near line judge has a spot. He's got him over. Yeah.
If he has him over, they're going to keep it. But I did not think Stafford got there. In fact, the ball's like clearly short.
So what happened last night?
With what?
I don't know. That's what James wants to know. What happened?
Dayton is a team that you can make an argument that could make the tournament, except you look at the early season losses before they marked them short. That's a turnover on downs.
Oh,
but you look at the actual losses they had in the beginning of the season, before the Kansas and the Miami wins, they lost to some brutal teams. They lost to UMass Lowell. They lost to, I think they might have lost to Lipscomb, I think.
They did.
They like immediately got eliminated from the at-large conversation when they started off 1-5 out of conference.
They lost to Austin P as well, I believe.
You're not getting in with those losses. So Dayton pretty much has to win the tournament, the conference tournament, if they want to get in. So I don't think they're going to. I think Davidson's going to get in. I think VCU is going to get in. I think Richmond has a shot, but not really. So I'll go 2 A10 teams.
George Mason?
No.
No?
No. Who have they beaten? They had a good road win against Maryland. Maryland turned out to be terrible.
Well,
they don't have many wins.
Well, they're 4-1 in conference play.
No, they're in conference play. But I'm saying you'd agree with these smaller mid-major conferences, you got to have a couple of marquee quad 1, 2, or 3 wins. VCU has a couple of solid wins. Davidson has a couple of okay wins. I don't think George Mason's really beaten anybody.
JC, I disagree with Scott. He thinks it's the Big 12. I think it's the Big 10. I think top to bottom, the Big 10 is better. I think there's. I'm
just trying to think of the Big 10 teams that I like. Purdue's good. Wisconsin's good. Michigan State, I don't know.
Ohio State.
Illinois. Ohio State's okay. Michigan sucks. Illinois is pretty good.
Well, what Big 12 team do you put Michigan on par with?
That's a fair point.
I mean, I'm just curious.
No. I know. I'm trying to think. I don't think the Big 12's underrated. I think you might be right. It might just be the Big 10 because also Iowa's mentioned there. Like they're going to get a bunch of teams in.
So
you can argue the Big 10.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the Big 12 is better than the SEC, but I think it's between the Big 12 and the Big 10.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think the SEC is in the conversation. I just don't think there's enough quality at the once you get past the top 2 or 3 schools.
The creme de la creme can battle with anybody, but you go down the line. Like, I'm not a fan of the mediocre teams you got there.
I don't know what's wrong with West Virginia. I don't know if Huggy's done there in Morgantown or not.
I think he's just got a lifetime deal at this point. It's not an official Bruce Pearl $50 million like contract with Auburn. Good for Auburn, by the way. You pay the guy. I don't even care. Good for them.
His money.
Yeah, good for them. But as for Huggins, West Virginia's had what as a basketball history? Is it good? Is it mediocre? Was it anything before Huggins?
Not to my knowledge. Not to me. Of course, about the time Huggins came on the scene was about the time they joined the Big 12, so I didn't really pay as much attention to him when they were in the Big East and whatnot.
So I would just automatically assume Huggins can stay as long as he wants. It's kind of like a Boeheim situation where Syracuse has been pretty underwhelming the last couple of years. I know Boeheim, the kid, Buddy Boeheim, had the great tournament. They won a couple games. They beat West Virginia in the tournament, but
right.
I don't think that Boeheim, despite the team hovering around 500, whatever, is ever going to be given the heave-ho. I think it's a matter of you turn the program into something. Here's your loyalty, stay as long as you want deal.
Yep, agreed.
That's how I look at it.
Zodwick bringing the jokes today. He said Huggins has 2 more losses from another DUI.
It's fair. It's fair.
Oh, that's some funny shit, man.
Truth is, I don't even know what's going on with Huggins because West Virginia is still a good team, but they completely pivoted from their physical, out-rebounding, really crappy free throw shooting style of play. And I kind of miss it. I kind of miss the really overwhelmingly big men, just the actual just muscle on the inside with the questionable guard play. Now they have a bunch of guards and they got no big men. So I don't really know what happened, but they kind of pivoted and I don't like it. I like Huggins being like the physical enforcer team.
Agreed. Brownsbacker says, you're freaking old when you get excited over a vegetable tray. You get
Depends
excited
on the
over
size of the tray.
Talking about a really big tray, Phil. All right, Rams defense, you need to step up here.
But I mean, you just think about all the longtime coaches, and the only one I could think of that was surprising that got fired was Thompson Jr. from Georgetown, and they should have fired him. He was not a good coach, but you assume solely because of his father, he would stay as long as he wanted. I think Ewing should be fired. I think Ewing's a terrible coach. They made the tournament last year because they pulled off a miraculous conference tournament run. But do you think that constantly going 500 and finishing in the bottom 3 in the Big East is acceptable for Georgetown? Of course not.
I don't think it is.
What are you supposed to do? You're going to tell Patrick Ewing to get lost? Of course not.
You tell me all those people that work in the Beltway don't have the money to buy out that contract?
I don't know if it's a matter of contract or it's a matter of like what Elway's doing with the Broncos front office, where you just look at the guy and go, while you were so good as a player, we can't exactly ruin the actual like relationship. I know St. John surprisingly got rid of Chris Mullen, which I found surprising. I thought they were going to keep him for a while. They got Anderson now, who I think's okay. But I did think Mullen would be there for a long time because of the program connections, kind of like what Ewing has with Georgetown. But if you watch Georgetown play, with the exception of the Big East run they had last year, is he even above 500?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure he is. That sucks. Like, he should not be a coach.
By the way, you can't get any better coverage than you did on that first down pass there.
Yeah, not at all. That was perfect.
That's just the ball thrown in the exact right spot.
By the way, speaking of just the game so
far, football
far,
game, yes.
Yeah, another self-inflicted wound by the Rams, the turnover on downs. We mentioned that was going to be the story. The Niners will not beat themselves. So if you're going to keep doing stupid stuff, Niners will just let you make mistakes and say thank you. And the Rams have made 3.
Niners score a touchdown here. It's game over.
No, I can't say it's game over because they can still score points. The issue is that the Rams have moved the ball. They just have been self-destructing in plus territory. So the kicking game's a question mark, which is a problem. They had the really brutal interception from Stafford, and they were short in a QB sneak. So they're there. It's not like it's a complete one-sided destruction, but the Rams are doing what they did against Tampa Bay, which is make stupid decisions the entire game.
Taking the Niners right now, minus 220.
Okay. I would probably wait on that because I think there's a decent chance the Niners kick a field goal in this drive. So you might be able to get a cheaper price if they kick a field goal instead of scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think they're going to score a touchdown on this drive. Like, if I was actually betting the drive props, I would take field goal. But I'm not doing it for this drive.
This is Juszczyk would have scored there.
Sure would have.
Down the field, yeah, no doubt.
The league needs more Mike Allstott.
I miss Mike Allstott. Christian Okoye, another one. He was at the Chiefs game today. Oh man!
Also made me happy about the Bengals celebration. First person to give Burrow a hug was Ickey Woods.
Yep, I saw Ickey Woods when I was on the road selling stuff here a couple years back. Ickey Woods was one of the sales. They have like the winter sales and stuff in big convention halls. He was there at he had his own booth doing Ickey Woods.
I still remember him for the Geico commercials.
Woo!
Gonna get some cold cuts today.
Yep. Ooh. Garoppolo.
I mean, a Garoppolo pick. He hasn't thrown one yet. There's been a couple dangerous throws over the middle.
He wanted to throw one there, didn't he?
He really did. It's there. It's potentially coming. But I said field goal in the drive, so I'm expecting a 5-yard dump off pass here on 3rd and 10.
34.5. Want to get involved?
I am not.
Something good happened here.
I am not.
I can tell by the adjustment of the odds. They pick up the first down here, buddy. They picked up the first down, didn't they? You can tell.
You're about to watch it.
Okay. There's a snap.
He shouldn't have picked up the first down. He shouldn't have. I mean, if you want to shove the guy backwards 5 yards towards a first down, go nuts.
Keep those feet moving. Keep them chopping. Choppity chop chop.
Good play by Jennings. Bad tackling, but good play. This is a guaranteed handoff. I'd be shocked if they threw the ball here on 1st and 10.
Trying to get Debo dead. No shit.
And what do you know, a handoff? Who would have thought? I get massive Wisconsin vibes when I watch the Niners, and it annoys me.
No question about it.
Yeah.
No question about it.
They got a new offensive coordinator. The other day. They signed the Ravens tight end coach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Means we're going to run the ball and throw it a lot to Ferguson. That means
bringing Mark Andrews,
quarterback,
Right.
I don't know if it matters what system you use if you have Graham Mertz throwing the ball, but whatever. I don't know if there's a dumber rumor going on in college football than Wisconsin being in the running for Caleb Williams. Why the hell would he pick Wisconsin over USC? There's literally no reason to like him over. That's a hell of a catch. That's a hell of a catch.
I'm happy the team going to the Super Bowl Cleveland beat twice. The last one was recent. Yep. Take what you can get, buddy.
Niners, I mean, Shanahan's just the boogeyman for McVay.
Oofta.
There's really nothing to say. He's just the boogeyman.
Beat a nice little line move there, buddy.
Good route.
Minus
good
400.
Throw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good throw.
Going everything high. Everything high with that shoulder. Oh, man. Oh, Kevin, I know you're out there, buddy. I know you took the Rams live for 50. I feel for you, brother. I feel 450 now. There you go. Double your money. I don't see that closing.
This is one of those games where you lose the early game, and instead of chasing, you decide to go a bit light on the second game.
Yeah.
And it turns out that everything you said about the second game was like 100% accurate.
In there.
This is one of those games. Like everything I've said has literally happened in this game.
Yep. Not there today.
Even the stupid mistakes. I even called the red zone interception for Stafford. But I'm going to make money on this game. I already did. It's just I should have probably bet more.
82, 89, and 22. Bengals, Niners. Yep, there you go.
I'm still not calling this game over, but the Rams are going to have to kick it into gear.
I think they're going to struggle for rating. I do. Cincinnati's such a small market with such a low national profile right now.
I don't know how much the actual markets. I don't know how much the markets actually matter for the Super Bowl, because I know that, of course, if you're in Los Angeles, you're in Texas, you automatically have some people that wouldn't care but might care. It's the Super Bowl. Isn't it just an event at this point? Like, does it really matter who's playing?
I think you get more eyes on it if you've got big media markets.
I think you can make an argument to get more, but you're still going to get tens of millions of viewers. It's the Super Bowl.
I agree. Yeah, they get a billion views for that. Pretty close.
The Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I don't think you get many views internationally. I mean, you air the game at 6, so it's like midnight in Europe. I don't think Europe's really watching the Super Bowl.
All right, now I'm going to look it up.
If I had to guess, I mean, that seems like a really bad time for Europeans to try to watch a football game. Game starts at midnight. I mean, that just sounds brutal.
You take the day off. You have a nice day. Never have enough on a winning bet. That's no shit.
I'm trying to remember of who the politician was that in America. Was John Kerry a person?
John Kerry? Yes, he ran for president.
He did, yes. So I don't know why I had that name in my head. I think it's because that's who I'm thinking of. He said as one of his PR points, he wanted to make the day after the Super Bowl a federal holiday, so nobody would work after the Super Bowl.
I like it.
The fact that I pulled that name out, I'm a very apolitical guy.
Yep.
The fact that his name popped into my head makes me 98% sure that's the guy. So he was making an argument, make it the day after, nobody works, nobody whatever, everyone just gets to recover. I'm in for it.
Yeah, that was 2004. I had Bush minus 160. I was good.
Okay. No, but Hamlin, let me ask, since you said there were a couple of pubs hosting events, what time does the actual game start locally for you? like 12:30, like
It's
midnight.
Yeah, it's about 5 it's about 5:30 Central, about 6:30 Eastern time. In the winter, like 7 ahead, 6 ahead in London.
I'm just saying, if you have no rooting interest, I don't really know how popular the NFL is in Europe. I know you have a game in London, which should really cause people in the UK to hate the NFL because they get to see the Jaguars 3 times a year. But do people in like France, in Germany, and these other countries really give a damn about the NFL?
Well, they get about 100 million views, so probably not.
So I am assuming, based on the starting time, you're alienating a decent amount of Europeans.
Yep, probably true. Yeah, John Kerry is the official presidential envoy for climate. So yeah, the EPAs are. That'd be fair enough. I do remember him saying in Bowling Green, I like Michigan. I love Michigan football. He reminds me of like the geeky kid that never played sports and then tried to like seem like he was cool. I think a lot of politicians are like that. They spend their time in, like debate club and shit like that. And then you want him to be like a big rah athletic guy. I think is Obama shooting hoops? Is that about the most athletic quarterback we've had?
Quarterback? President?
I mean president, sorry.
I think he's got to be. I mean, Abe Lincoln was 6'5", but I've never seen him with a basketball in his hand.
Yeah, could he drive?
I mean, Obama had some skills. I mean, that's the thing. Whether or not you like Obama as a president, I did like the fact that he was willing to actually talk sports on TV. He seemed like a chill guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people didn't like his policies or whatever, but he's the kind of guy I wouldn't mind watching a basketball game with.
Dude, and I'd hang out with George Bush any day because he seemed like the kind of guy that you'd hang out with in college and you knew you were going to end up like in fucking jail or puking by the end of the night. You knew something.
I'm sure you have a bunch of stories by the end of the night.
Oh, absolutely. Who was a fighter pilot? Bush Sr. Bush Sr. was a fighter pilot. John Kerry.
I wouldn't want to hang out with HW, but GW.
No. Although that dude, HW knows the secrets, man. He knows about the aliens and shit, from being in the CIA and everything. He knows all the facts.
I'm sure all the presidents are given the alien briefing. But I'm trying to think of other presidents I would have wanted to meet.
What's that?
I'm trying to think of other presidents I would have wanted to meet. I would want to meet Trump, not because of like what I just think that he'd say something that would make me laugh. I just think there'd be something amusing. I would meet any president.
I'll tell you, Trump reminds me of like, the guy. You meet him at parties, maybe he's even your best friend or something, but he's a fucking sales guy. He's always on, he's always selling, he's always full of shit. Everybody's got a friend like that. Everybody knows somebody that's just like Trump. This is the big fucking sales guy. And you walk in and he can fucking convince you. He can sell ice cream to Eskimos, as they say. No,
all I know is that
Kerry was a U-boat captain in the Navy, bro.
With his life experience and whatever, I'm sure he's got a couple stories that I'd like to hear. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, no question about it. I think fun Trump before he became president would have been a lot more fun than after. I think he's a lot. Of course,
I mean, like Apprentice Trump. Like I just feel like that was a fun type of moment there where he was a TV personality. So I do think that he has some stories. But truth is, I know athletes skip the White House because they don't agree with the actual views of the president. Even if I completely disagreed with everything that the president said, I get a phone call telling me I'm meeting the president. You better believe I'm meeting the president.
Got to do it.
I'm going. I don't care what the hell his opinion is. He could be against whatever. I don't care. If I have a chance to meet the president, I'm going to meet him. That's just how it works.
There you go.
How often do you get calls from the president?
I do not.
Doesn't happen to me that often.
Very rarely. Super Bowl record is a 49.1 share for the 49ers Bengals in 82. 114 million viewers for a Patriots Seahawks game, but of course the share wasn't as big then.
No, but Robs, you're saying that's one of the most watched programs in U.S. TV history. I'm saying globally. My argument was for the non-U.S. viewers, how much they care about the Super Bowl. That was my counter.
I guarantee you, World Cup and cricket, both of them kill us.
Sure. World Cup, I'm assuming, is the most popular sporting event in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Any trip to the White House has to be a great trip. Agreed.
Of course. Yeah, I went there on a school trip, but even if you don't like the guy in charge, if you're going to show me up and you're going to give me about 45 Dr. Peppers, I'm going to have a good time.
I got to pee. Yeah, don't be a douchebag. I don't get whatever fucking politics are. You know, probably 50-50 chance you're not going to agree with the guy in office anyway.
Well, JC, I'm assuming they lined up because Trump had a lot of money. So, I found that a lot of people laugh at other people's jokes when you are trying to get money from them. You ever notice that?
You're a lot funnier and you're a lot more good looking when you got money. No question about it. That's when people say when people meet me and they meet my wife, and I say I used to be a lot more good looking and a lot richer.
But I mean, if you want to just go down politics, once again, I'm an apolitical person. But if Kamala Harris became the president, I don't like her. I'd meet her.
Sure.
I get invited to the White House. Sure. What am I going to say? I'm a guest at the White House. What more can you want?
Fair enough. USSR hockey 1980 most watch. Most watched what? Sporting event of all time? Most Olympic event? UK had a good trip to the White House in 1814. That's some funny shit right there. That's some funny shit. It really is. I just wanted to point out 82 numbers were very impressive even to this day. Cable was nearly non-existent. Yep, absolutely. It was interesting that the rating share still stands. Yep. I don't think anything's going to beat a 49-1 just simply because there's so many outlets right now. There's so many more options. Back in 82, like I said, you almost didn't have cable. And I think HBO came around in like 80, but there wasn't, a lot of people didn't have cable and you didn't have a ton of options in a 49.1 share. I remember when I worked on Dilbert Scott, we had a 10 share for our premiere and we were fucking just over the moon that we got a 10 share.
I feel like this is a dumb question, but I do want to ask about TV ratings. How many more people watch the Super Bowl in comparison to debates? Is it not even close?
I would say 5 times as many. I think.
Okay.
I think Super Bowl. If Super Bowl gets 100, but debates probably get 20.
Okay.
Let me find out. I'll look at the. I don't want to.
I am just curious because I'm trying to think of other extremely popular TV events, and of course, every 4 years you get some debates involving the presidents. I don't mean the primaries. I mean like the actual
I lied,
debates,
Scott.
whatever.
The 2016 one of the debates there got 84 million viewers.
And what did the Super Bowl get?
Last year it got 94. It was one of the lowest rated Super Bowls recently.
So they're like neck and neck. That's what I thought.
Browns Becker said we used to get off our ass to turn the channel. Goddamn right we did. We talked about that at the beginning of the show, where we used to make and you'd have to stand there like with the pliers on the antenna, or you'd have to put aluminum foil on your UHF antenna, all kinds of shit. Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, so I was right though.
Who Shot JR was for a long time, and the MASH finale was also was very big.
So I was right though. The debates with Trump in 2016 rivaled the Super Bowl's ratings.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. I didn't think they were nearly that big, but they were huge. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Huge debates is what they were.
The greatest debate in the history of TV debates. You're gonna love the way I debate. I'm the best at it. Everyone loves me.
I was watching the Lloyd Benson Dan Quayle debate when Benson said, "I knew John Kennedy. You're no John Kennedy." That was
okay.
And I can tell you, I was working with Michael Graham, who later went on to become a pretty prominent right wing radio host in Carolinas and got some national publicity. But
wait, time out. There's a right wing host in Norman. I can't believe it.
I know, hard to believe, isn't it? We only had 5 channels, including PBS. Damn right, Robs. That's right. We had 3. I remember when we got Fox. That was a big deal when you got that 4th network. Fuck yeah. But yeah, we had ABC, NBC, and CBS and PBS, and then you get the UHF, and then some of you get to see reruns of Gilligan's Island and shit like that. Hamlin Kaplan said Trump was the master debater. You know what? If you're a debater, like if you're in debate club and you're on the debate team,
he violated like every principle that you're supposed to follow in debate. But because he did everything so unorthodox compared to the usual politicians, he was funny.
Yep.
Like I'm sorry to tell you, I know that he was name calling people and whatever, but he provided some juice to one of the most boring events every 4 years.
I'm gonna interrupt your Trump debate breakdown and ask a quick question here, Scott. Why can't they stop Cooper fucking Kupp?
See, you were talking about how the Niners might. I'm like, no, the Rams just have to finish drives. Like this is going to be a game. The point is can the Rams not shoot themselves in the foot?
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. This is gonna be. We got a game here, Scott. We're still talking shit. So
I believe I said. Wait, I'm trying to remember. What did I say for a score? I said 23-20 or 2017.
I don't know. I don't listen to what you say.
I think that's what I said.
Somewhere in that neighborhood. I think 2017 sounds about right.
Yeah.
Austin Angler says he's praying for the NFL. All right, let's go.
I actually do want to ask a question for some of the people who are in this the comment section.
Yes.
Scott and I were talking about it before because, of course, baseball's having their own things, and we only have 2 more football games left, or 1.5 at this point.
Yep.
Are you excited for the USFL?
No.
I know you're not. I'm asking the people in the actual audience. I am always going to be excited for football no matter how bad it is.
Right.
But I am curious if anybody is actually looking forward to the USFL.
2 questions. Will you be watching? Will you be betting?
I'm going to be watching. What else am I supposed to watch?
Will we be live streaming the Super Bowl?
I don't know, because I feel like it depends on if we're going to have any parties or not. I might have some friends over. I might not. I don't know.
I didn't want to because I assumed the Chiefs were going to be in it. So now I have to think about it. I don't think so. We'll probably not do that. We'll probably do a couple of specials leading up to it. I know we want to do a prop special.
I'm assuming my friends are going to want to get together and do some barbecue and watching. So probably not.
Okay.
You got any Super Bowl plans?
No. Probably. I don't like to watch sporting events in bars and shit. I like to be able to listen to the audio. I like to run back the play if I want to.
You don't like the people at the bar just going, "Oh," like every time so they can pretend they know what's going on?
No, I don't.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, by the way.
I do.
We all do.
Browns backer says, okay, so let's see here. So Rob says, small potatoes, USFL. Browns backer not excited for USFL. Tampa Bay Bandits, Michigan Panthers, Philadelphia Stars. Nostalgia, yeah, no shit.
I miss arena ball. JC throwing out arena football. I used to go to a couple of games. They had the Dragons a while back. Then they kept the league afloat. You had Bon Jovi's team and 3 other teams. And then, I feel like the entire league had 4 teams, and then it completely disbanded. I thought it was fun. 150 points per game.
You want to know why I am with the perfect woman? Because for Christmas one year, I bought my wife season tickets to the Kansas City Brigade Arena Football League.
Okay.
And it was like $120 a ticket for 10 games. It was fucking excellent, and it was the best time, dude. It was a great time. Absolutely.
Why did Samuel field that, by the way?
I don't know.
That looked like it was potentially heading out of bounds.
Yeah,
I thought it might have been heading out of bounds. That seemed like a pretty dumb play there by Samuel.
Jesus, it was just about really dumb.
Yeah, almost stepped out at the 4.
Yeah.
Dump off pass incoming.
Awful. All right, you're gonna have to put a fork in that.
Oh no, I said it before the snap. I just automatically assumed there's gonna be a dump off pass.
XFL rock interpretation coming soon.
That's next year, I think. That's not this year.
I like the XFL. I like the football at midfield for the opening possession where they just run and try to grab the football.
I did not think the XFL reboot was that bad. Was it great? No, but I actually watched it. I didn't mind it. I thought they had some. I really, really liked the one thing in the XFL was they had audio of the people in the review booth going through the actual discussions. They actually had the audio of people discussing what the hell was happening. And anything that can create any transparency, I'm for. I think that was a great job by the XFL.
Yep,
in that aspect.
Talking about he hate me. Rod Smart. Yeah, absolutely. Rod Smart actually got in the played in the NFL. So he actually got a sniff there.
Hamilton, it's funny you mentioned that because I actually thought about live streaming the tennis event. I thought about live streaming the actual Australian Open men's final. I wasn't sure how many people would be up at like 5 a.m. for that.
Right.
So I decided not to, but I did think about it. And I'm assuming that based on hours, no matter what, I don't know about Wimbledon and I don't know about the French because they also play those in the morning. The U.S. Open final, I will definitely have a live stream for.
Yep. Brownsbaker's a way to force your lady to the game. No, dude. She liked She loves football. She loves going to football games, and it was a great way because we were like had like the 4 kids and we didn't have a ton of money and shit. So it was a perfect thing. We'd have a Sunday afternoon to ourselves. We go down there and do the games. Oh, no, she had a great time. They folded. We would have done it forever. Had season tickets. It was a lot of fun. Dick Ebersol involvement was that was the getting Ebersol, but I'm trying to think I know the overhead camera was something they did in the XFL. That was a first. I know they have a lot more.
Just about the original or the reboot?
The original with
okay.
The McMahon did. Well, I guess he was involved in both, wasn't
he? Yes, he was involved in both.
All right, so here we go.
I mean, the only players I know are, of course, He Hate Me and Tommy Maddox.
Touchdown, Tommy. How about a young fellow from the University of Georgia? Herschel Walker. Anybody?
XFL.
Yeah. He signed with the Generals.
The Generals of the USFL.
Yeah.
We're talking about the XFL.
Oh, sorry, XFL. Sorry, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
That's why one of them was like 15 years before the other one. I mean, you could have thrown out Jim Kelly, you could have thrown out Steve Young, but for XFL, the only 2 I know are He Hate Me and Tommy Maddox, who won MVP of the league and then ended up on the Steelers.
Yeah, He Hate Me led to the one of the best nicknames of all time, and that is Jared Lorenzen. You know what his nickname was?
Hefty Lefty.
He ate me.
Oh. Rest in peace, Jared Lorenzen.
It is a shame. It is a real shame. Something about that guy I like. I'm not sure what it was. Have you seen the coach of Eastern Illinois?
Basketball or football?
Basketball.
No.
He looks like my brother. You're like,
okay.
What the fuck does this fat bastard know about football? Tell us about the time when you went to the hole, coach. Oh no, not the donut hole. Seriously, I think, and I'll speak as a fat man. It's unless you're came from an offensive line background, I think it's hard to coach football if you're overweight. I'm just saying.
See,
especially basketball.
Well, a separate discussion on that. My mom actually had an experience like that at the gym. Not personally, but there was a trainer at one of the gyms that she either went to or used to go to. It
was a huge stop, by the way. Huge fucking stop.
It was. And the Rams are challenging a potential fumble by Juszczyk. I also don't know why you bring Trent Williams in motion if you're not going to run it behind Trent Williams. I don't know what the point of that was. You got him playing fullback just to go in the opposite direction. But anyway, there was a trainer at my mom's gym.
Take care, Hamlin. Stay. Thanks for joining us, man. Have a pint for us next time, buddy.
Hamlin, thanks for joining us. There was a trainer at my mom's gym who was slightly heavy.
Okay.
I wouldn't call him fat. I wouldn't call him, whatever, but he was a little bit heavy. And my mom asked the question, why would you want a trainer or why would you trust what he has to say if he's out of shape?
Hard to argue with
I
that.
feel like that's a fair argument.
Sure. Absolutely.
I'm not saying that it's a bad thing if you're a little overweight. I'm just saying, can you give health advice to somebody?
No, I agree.
If you're not following the steps yourself?
When you get,
I think it's a fair argument.
You give him a breakdown of the machine. She's like, okay, can you show me how to do it? And he's like, no, I cannot. I cannot do that.
Well, this is what you would do. I haven't done these in years, but I know the procedure,
That's right. A hot take from the fat man. Absolutely. Dude. I call the balls and strikes. I call them like I see them. I'm going to miss football even though I suck at betting at it. I get that. It's the NFL line's becoming sharper and sharper, man. It's it can be an interesting sport. I thought they were calling forward momentum. Apparently not, if they're looking at it.
It's actually one of the funnier parts that the NFL season, for the joint show we did, I went under by like less than a unit. I was like 8-1 or whatever. Like I basically broke even. For the NFL season, it was not a good year. And yet I still ended up plus somehow. I'm not really sure how, but I'm like up a unit, and I feel like my season was a disaster.
Yep, I get that. Down to minus 135 now. I don't feel as good about my minus 225, Scott. I got to be honest with you.
I expected it to be a game anyway. I said it would come down to a field goal, so that's where we're at.
We'll see. We'll still see if the Rams somebody can cover Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Are you surprised OBJ hasn't been more involved?
No, because Kupp's wide open. So why would you not just throw him the ball? You can make an argument. I'm shocked OBJ hasn't done anything because, they're double teaming Cup or they're really keeping an eye on him. Cup's been wide open on like 5 different plays in the second half.
Cup got
or like
93.
5 different plays just in general. He had the huge drop, which would have been 30-something yards.
And you know what? And that's one of the disadvantages to doing this show and talking at the same time because Beckham has 6 for 71. Nothing wrong.
Yeah, you've just been quiet because Cup has the 2 touchdowns. And how many yards does he have? 90?
Yep. I don't know who did we both like Higgins? I don't. Do you have whose call was that? I think we both liked Higgins.
I said that I thought Chase would get double teamed, and I thought that Higgins would play extremely well.
Yeah, I talked
Higgins
about it.
Definitely did.
I talked about it in my videos that they'd rotate a safety over, and
that's not even close to a fumble. How do you even? Okay, McVay's really they have no timeouts left. You're telling me McVay burned all 3 timeouts already with 10 minutes to go in the damn half?
Looks like he's got 1.
It says he's got 0. Well, it says he had 1. He lost the challenge.
He never. Oh, okay. That's fuck. The ball didn't come loose till then.
It wasn't even close.
That's a terrible challenge. Cup has
the first one I can understand. The first one you're not going to get that overturned ever. A QB sneak respot. But I guess you can make the argument if he thought he got it. That's not even close. I don't know what you're looking at.
Yep, absolutely.
They're going for it.
Got to.
I think you do.
I got to know.
Well, Shanahan might actually just try to draw him off. Shanahan's not a guy who actually would go for this.
No,
I don't think they're going to snap this. Shanahan is ultra conservative. I don't think he's going to snap this.
All right, well, you're ahead of me, so they're just coming to the line of scrimmage now. 19 seconds.
I just said what I think. I didn't say what happened.
They're up there awful early if they're just going to stand there. Looks like you're right.
He's a sucker.
Yep.
That's why Shanahan blows leads in the Super Bowl, man.
I asked this
way too conservative, way too quickly.
I asked this before. Does anybody? God damn it! Got to play to win.
I don't understand how you have an offensive background and you're afraid to go for it on 4th and 2. Like if you're Fangio or somebody like Mike Tomlin, defensive or special teams background, like you trust the other units around. You have one of the best running attacks in the league. You are known as being one of the brightest offensive minds in the league. You really cannot come up with a 4th and 2 play.
Yep.
What'd the punt get you? 30 yards?
Makes no sense to me.
It's just bad. It's just a brutal job by Shanahan. I think you have to go for that. That's a joke. The Rams just went 70-something yards on you.
What's the surrender index say? Have you seen it on Twitter?
I'm assuming it's way too quickly for that. Surrender index will probably be a bit kind because they were winning. Usually the high scores are when you're tied or losing, but it's not good. I'll tell you that much. I think you got to go for it. I don't know how you don't go for that. Do you?
No.
With that offensive line?
No, all day. That's with the momentum switched around like it is, you have to go for it there.
Oh my God.
Okay, really?
No. Oh my God.
James Mountain, he just turned in to make sure I'm okay. Yeah, dude, I got my Royals shirt on. It's baseball.
You got to see this play.
All right, here he is.
Oh my God.
Wow, oh no.
What the hell is that?
Oh my God.
That's why he's playing defense, but what the hell was that?
My goodness. Yep. Yeah, thanks, James. I'm okay. It was as a Chiefs fan, it was a heartbreaker. As a bettor, it was a heartbreaker because I really thought the Chiefs would dominate that game. Jesus Christ.
That's the type of play that causes the Rams to win the game.
It is.
That is a brutal dropped interception.
That's a game changer right there, bud.
That is awful. I don't know where Stafford was throwing that ball either. That was just bad.
Weird shot to take at a weird time.
Very, very weird.
And then he just makes that. And then you had a penalty on top of it. There you go. Yep.
It was a clear penalty.
Yep.
But that turns into a 35-yard gain. The play after it should have been your ball.
Yep.
That's not good.
And now we're past where they would have punted from. Where they punted from. Oh, no, that's going to be way past. He's at the 45 when he got hit, dude. He's going to be at the 40. Fuck. Oof. Well, if that was college, he'd be sitting out the first half of the Super Bowl.
They decapitated him.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Oh, Odell's first game with 100 yards since 2019.
Boom. I'm surprised they don't take more shots like that and just invest the 15 yards. How do you drop that? I don't know, dude. I'm again.
So he's playing defense.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell you drop that. That's going to be the easiest interception he's ever had.
Your friends would ridicule if you were playing 500 and drop that. Let alone on an NFL team.
I mean, Tart's just standing right there. You're indoors. You can't even argue that the ball is wet. The sun was in my eye. I swear to God, it wasn't my fault. Hit him right in the hands. Like, I don't know.
I couldn't get a cab.
My watch was busted.
An old
For the
friend
love of God, it wasn't my fault. Hit him right in the hands. Like, I don't know.
The suspense to wait for the dropped interception after Reichel freaked out was his intent.
I think that's worthy of freaking out. I don't know how the hell you dropped that. That is so bad.
Oh, bad scheme. Oh my God, you let him get behind. Okay.
He chucked it out of bounds 10 yards. But yeah.
Thomas, do you just let him run past you? My God.
Are they in field goal range? Probably not.
No.
Can you go for this? I don't know.
Not on 10, no.
Well, it's third down right now. I'm saying, assuming it's incomplete. I don't know.
10, no. 8:50 left. No, I think you count on your defense. Try to pin them and count on your defense there. Now, if they can pick up, are you going to show short and try to pick up 5 or 6? You're not going to. You're absolutely out of field goal range.
Tell you what, though, this did turn into a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't been the most entertaining game, but it's been close.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Zodwick, that is actually the official announcer thing whenever they drop a wide open interception. That's why they play defense.
Yep.
That's why they're not on the hands team.
Not on the hands.
What else are you supposed to say? So that's the thing that's why I probably would not be. I think I'd be good in the booth, but I wouldn't last more than a week because I would just be too brutally honest about everything that I see. I don't sugarcoat things well.
How many
If you're getting paid millions of dollars and you drop a pick like that, I'm going to roast you. It's just going to happen. I'm going to roast you. And you see announcers all the time, like Aikman talking about quarterbacks. He'll dance around saying, that wasn't a great read. He should have went this. I'm just like, no, that's a brutal pass. You cannot make that. You're getting paid $30 million. You can't make that pass. I don't think I would last because I'd be too harsh on the players. But I keep it real.
I wonder how many times I would say, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Jesus Christ!
That's actually one kind of funny situation. Is that for another company that I'm associated with, they are starting to do some broadcasting game things. So I might end up signing up and doing a couple of games, not professionally or anything, but on some website they would air it, whatever. So that potentially could be in the works if you want to hear me broadcast an NBA game or something. Yeah. But I don't have to worry about being censored or anything because that's why it was difficult in college when I'm at Wisconsin and I'm talking about the games and I see Paul Chris punt 3 separate times against BYU on 4th and 2 with Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. And I'm just going off on him in the middle of the student radio broadcast. And I get a note from the booth or from the actual higher ups after the show saying you can't say that. they could take us off the air. I'm like, he's an idiot. What do you want me to say? He's a terrible coach. I'm going to be honest. I'm sorry.
Manning cast is the closest thing to real reactions. Yep. Am I the only one that thinks Tony Romo sucks now that they don't let him really call the plays ahead?
I think Romo's okay, but he's so biased towards, especially with the Chiefs games, Mahomes, which I know makes sense because Mahomes is a god, even though he completely blew the game today or the whole team did, but you know what I mean?
Yep.
Romo should never announce a Mahomes game ever again because he's actually insufferable when it comes to listening to him broadcasting Mahomes stuff. Other games I'm fine with, but when Romo's in the booth talking about Mahomes, that is all you're going to hear about for 4 hours. Mahomes could be on the bench, eating a hot dog, and they're just going to talk about him the entire time. Romo will talk about Mahomes for at least 85% of a broadcast.
All right, I'm going to show you my confidence. I'm taking the Niners at minus 130. I'm doubling down.
Yeah, Zodwick, I don't know why people hate Gus Johnson. I think Gus Johnson is potentially the best there is. I
really
think
good.
it's him. I think Musburger's very good. Kevin Harlan's very good. I think Herb Street is slept on. I think Herb Street's actually good in college.
Oh, I didn't care for him at all this year. I thought he was
For
awful.
this year, maybe. I thought he did a pretty good job on that playoff game, though. He did the Rams. I forgot which game he did. No, he did the Saturday Chiefs-Broncos game.
Yeah.
I thought he was okay. I didn't think he was that bad.
All right.
But I still think Harlan's great. Musburger's great. Johnson's my favorite.
Yeah.
I just think that he has an energy about him that a lot of people don't have. And when it comes to just a unique presence, of course, it's a different type of show and a different type of atmosphere. It's kind of like a Stuart Scott situation with ESPN, where he is just so charismatic that he can talk about anything and you'll just want to listen to what he has to say.
Yep.
That's kind of the grouping that I have, where you have like a Stuart Scott going through baseball highlights. Hell, he can do cricket, and I'll have a good time listening to Stuart Scott back in the day.
As cool as the other side of the pillow was.
Pretty much. I thought he was the best to ever do it in the booth for like SportsCenter. I think Stuart Scott's a legend for that. But I think Johnson is an all-timer. I think I can listen to any game he broadcasts. I will go out of my way to listen to Big Ten basketball just to hear Gus Johnson do some actual breakdowns.
How you guys go this long without a bathroom break? Well, Browns backer, I didn't. I snuck off at halftime, and Rachel's 24 years old, so that's how. I
got the diaper on, so I'm good.
I've been literally chugging water all day long. So, week from tomorrow, Scott, starting the Mediterranean diet. By the way,
okay. That involves a lot of falafel and hummus.
Doing it for real? No, it's a lot of grains, a lot of healthy grains.
Pita bread?
No, not a lot of bread at all. Not a lot of sweets. Not a lot of flour and shit like that. So, with a seam is my Gus quote. Oh, that's a beautiful one. Yep. Yeah, I'm a big fan of anybody that does it differently. I like a little style.
I just want personality.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need to know the 30-year-old that graduated from Syracuse. Sorry. I think we're done full up.
I also think if you want to talk about great broadcasters, I got to throw in Ian Eagle. I think Ian Eagle's really, really good.
Good, kind of a classic style.
Yeah. I'm spoiled because he does the Nets games, and I listen to the Nets games all the time. But I mean, you're going through multi-sport broadcasters because I think that Mike Breen's really good too, but he really only does the NBA. Like Breen's phenomenal, but he doesn't do football. So you can go down the line, multiple sport guys. You're not going to find many better than Gus Johnson. He just does everything.
Big drive here.
And Kevin Harlan.
All right. Is that to use check? Oh no, that was a Kittle. Okay. The whole healthy grains argument. That's right. Healthy grains, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have some spelt, like ancient grains. What the fuck? So he's got a bad shoulder, a bad thumb, and apparently he got a cut on his right arm as well. He's got a bandage. Whiskey grains. Yeah, that's right. Whiskey's grains. I want a Manning cast without guests. Scott and I have talked about that as well.
I said it. I don't know why you need guests on if you're going to talk about the game.
Last time you visited a deli, Scott? When was the last time? You guys got any good delis in Long Island?
There are a couple. I haven't gone to a deli in a... Well, truth is, with COVID, you've had stuff that's been open and closed on and off, so I haven't gone in a while. I've gone to some sushi places here and there. Sushi is my favorite food. I'll down that all day, every day. For delis, I haven't gone to a deli in a while just because I can't keep track of what days some of them are open because they're not open every day anymore. They're open like half the time. And with COVID, you never know what's open and closed. So I haven't gone in a while. I should go, though.
I like a good bowl of matzo ball soup, man. When I went to New York, Scott, when I was on Millionaire last time I was in New York, so one thing I wanted while I was there, I wanted to have a fucking good bowl of matzo ball soup. So I'm looking around for a deli. I finally find one up near Battery Park, and the fucking matzo ball soup was terrible, just awful. I'm like, God damn it, really? Mm-hmm. We don't have any delis in Kansas City. We don't have any real like New York delis.
New York delis are tough to come by.
Huh?
I don't know how Ramsey dropped that, but
Nope.
New York quality delis are tough to come by, at least out of state. New York
Rams-
delis are known for being very, very good.
Yeah, we told Rob. Was that you that brought that stat up the other day? I thought that was fascinating. The Rams the only team remaining with 23 takeaways. Every Super Bowl champion in 16 games has achieved that accomplishment. Sean Payton replacing Tony Aikman. God damn it! I hope so. I'm not a I'm not an Aikman guy at all.
All I know is that this might sound like a weird comment to make, but I'm just going to say it. I don't know if I've ever heard Sean Payton talk before.
Okay.
I'm not even joking. Like, I don't know if I've ever actually heard him say a word to anybody.
Have you seen the new Sean Payton movie?
With Kevin James? No, I heard it's awful.
Is it?
I don't know why anyone would make the movie. That just seems like one of those movies where you see the preview for it and you go, well, somebody's going to get fired. Like, I don't know who pitched that idea. I don't know what the thought process was there. Greenlit it. Whatever studio's lighting money on fire, give it to us. We'll take some parlays instead. Like,
I saw
invest your money.
I saw it pop up on Netflix, and they said a film for the whole family about Sean Payton. I'm like, nope, I'm out.
Film for the whole. Okay, interesting. All I know is that I'm not even joking though. Like, even with Breeze when he was in the booth, I don't listen that often to athletes in post-game press conferences because they say the same answers every time. What happened? They made a couple more plays. We fought hard. Unfortunately, a couple breaks didn't go our way. I still like how our team's playing.
First of all,
back next week.
All glory to God.
Only if they win. They never thank God if they lose.
I used to work with a guy named Jeff Stilson who actually had kind of a minor career. Very good comedy writer, very good comic, and he was actually the warden on Orange Is the New Black late in the show, but. He used to do a joke about how you never blame Jesus. Well, I was running right along, and then Jesus made me fumble. Like, yeah, you never hear him blaming God if something bad happens. 7.5 might come in handy, looking like.
I'm just trying to think of other cliches. I think my favorite all-time cliche
taking them one game at a time. We're not looking ahead. We respect those guys over there too much. They had a great game plan today. We were just able to execute better. Or if they lose, we just didn't execute. We had the right plays called, just didn't execute.
That's the main one. They did a better job executing.
Yeah.
You will hear that in every single post game, no matter what.
Yeah, you never hear. Very rarely we hear. They just whipped our ass. We just sucked. Every once in a while, like in college, they'll say it. Like, yeah, we were just awful out there.
That's one of the worst spots I've ever seen.
Yes, pretty damn bad.
That is one of the worst spots I've ever seen. Where the hell are you spotting this thing?
On the play coming up. Oh, they're going to give it to him. They're going to give him like a yard past the first down.
First of all, that's delay a game that they didn't call. Second of all, I don't know what that spot is.
Oh, shit, on the comebacker.
What the hell kind of spot is that? You robbed him of 2 yards.
Brownsbacker says, yeah, we need to work harder. You think? Madden and Summerall, Cosell, Meredith, and Gifford. Those are just classics. And we didn't, at least I didn't appreciate how good we had it back in those days. When
I caught the tail end of Madden. So I had a couple of really good Madden years.
Yeah.
Followed by a couple of iffy ones down the stretch. But Madden's an all-timer. I missed the entire Summerall era. I grew up in the Al Michaels portion.
Brownsbacker, I'm with you on the delay of game. I think there ought to be a huge buzzer like the shot clock in basketball. When the clock hits 0, that fucking buzzer goes off. Because the way they do it now, I'm sure you guys know, the umpire watches the clock and he looks up and the clock is at zeros, and then he looks at the quarterback. And if the quarterback hasn't snapped the ball yet, then they call it. But if they do it simultaneously or in just a split second, they don't call it. So, yeah, it's bullshit.
Zodwig, I understand your point of how he was going back and momentum carried him, but can you argue forward progress on a diving catch?
We've certainly seen that
it called before.
We've seen that spotted as a first down before. Let's just put it that way.
They got it anyway, so it's not like it mattered, but I have seen forward progress called in that situation.
Where are we at?
I think the question I'd have for you, though, with the partnership of Madden Summerall, was Summerall any good? Like, if he was with somebody not named Madden, would people have actually liked him?
Yes. Yeah, he had a really solid career before Madden. Yeah.
Okay. I just mean that's how he's remembered, of course, is for the partnership. I think you'd agree Madden was the main driving force of that partnership.
Yep. Mel Allen this week in baseball. Yes. He used to be in Kansas City, used to be on noon every Saturday before game of the week for the NBC game of the week. Yep. Absolutely. How about that? My favorite Madden Dolphins lady, he kept running up the a-hole. Outstanding.
If you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself?
There you go.
It's another one.
That's Harry Carey.
Bob Euchre, I'm a big fan.
That's not Madden. That's Harry Carey.
I know. We're going through like classic broadcasters. Of course, that's Harry Carey. You got Euchre, who I really like. I think Euchre's very good.
Yep. Keith Jackson. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Musburger, you already said
granddaddy of them all. Rest in peace, Keith Jackson.
Yep. Keith Jackson.
Great broadcaster.
Just a sophomore. Keith Jackson and Frank Broyles, the old Arkansas.
He was the cherry on top for that USC Texas game, just because he was the one broadcasting it. Like the game, it's one of the, if not the greatest college game of all time.
Yep.
But the fact
that may have been the biggest catch of Cooper's season right there.
It was a hell of a grab.
Yeah,
and the run
and the run. Yeah,
but I feel like Keith Jackson with the fourth down stop call on Wendell White and company was just the cherry on top.
You take a timeout here, Scott.
If you're the Niners,
yep,
you should.
Yep,
but they're not.
Will Ferrell's Harry Carey best impression. Agreed. My writing partner in Dilbert was did that impression. He didn't do Harry Carey. He did Will Ferrell doing Harry Carey, and it was fucking hilarious. Hey, no. Yep, fantastic. Well, Scott, we saw this earlier. As of course the Chiefs were 3 down, but we saw a team milking the clock here at the end that didn't end well for them. Hopefully it'll end better for the Rams. For those of you that have the Rams, for those of you like me that have the under and the Niners plus 3.5, yeah, I'm cool.
There's only one bet to make now, right? It's just game to go to overtime, right? Doesn't it feel that way?
Yeah,
it really has that overtime feel to it. So they'll kick a field goal, Garoppolo will go down, Gould will hit a 52-yarder, you'll go to overtime.
So you're gonna call your timeouts here?
Oh, they took it to the 2-minute warning.
Yep.
So I'm assuming the Rams will call one handoff and then one pass play. Assuming you don't get like 9 yards.
Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan. Hey, Rob, you know what I discovered this weekend? That I've got Paramount Plus and they have all the fucking old wrestling shit on there. Like, because I guess yesterday was Royal Rumble, and
Ronda Rousey won or something.
What's that? Is that who won?
Ronda Rousey won yesterday.
Spoiler alert! Thanks, buddy.
You're telling me Ronda Rousey comes out of retirement randomly, and you don't expect her to win?
Whitworth reuniting with the Bengals in the Super Bowl. Dreams are made of this. That is pretty cool. Man, you seen Whitworth without his helmet on? He looks like he's about 55.
Yeah. I think my favorite wrestling personality, not like an actual wrestler, but the actual interview person, journalist, it's got to be Mean Gene Okerlund, right?
Mean Gene, that's right, buddy. I'm sweating San Francisco plus 3.5, as well you should be, James. Absolutely.
Truth is, I think you're in good shape. I think you're in good shape. Now, the Niners might let the Rams score.
No.
But truth is, 1 first down, and they're just going to kick a field goal to end the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the only question is, if the Niners will let them score, which they might if they end up getting a first down here, do the Rams take it? I would not. Because last regular season meeting, Garoppolo went 87 yards in 1:07. So you probably should just kick the field goal at the end of the game.
The odds of that happening again? What do you think?
I have Rams field goal, Niners field goal. We go to overtime. So that's my stance. If I could bet overtime, I actually think it's going in that direction.
It's weird how the books don't let you bet overtime with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter in a tie game.
It's really weird. Bizarre.
Although, fuck it. Let me lay a price. Let me lay 220 or whatever. I'm okay with that.
It would have to be plus money because they're literally in field goal range.
Well, now it is. Yeah, I'm just saying, like early in this drive when they were on the other side of the 50.
Okay.
He's got a barbecue joint in Atlanta called Abdullah's Ribs. Excellent. I'll try.
But if you want my prediction on the game, I got Rams field goal, Niners field goal. We're going to overtime.
Okay. Ooh. Pick a bad time to stop sniffing glue, Scott. Bad time to give up a sack there.
I mean, I would have run, But I'll tell you what, Stafford taking a sack there instead of throwing any completions actually the right play.
JC, so I'm going to get dinged on a 5-game parlay by 1 sack. Oh, shit. Oh, not good. Not good. Now I want to know, was it too many sacks? Not enough sacks? What'd you do? Was it that sack right there?
You got overtime draws unless you had the under.
Did you have the under? Yeah. I mean, if you had the over, you're still alive, man. Although they're not going to, I don't think they're, well, now do you pass, Scott?
It's going to be a screen pass.
Oh, 3rd and 18. Oh, yeah. I thought it was still
this is a guaranteed screen.
I thought it was still second down.
I don't know how on second down there you don't run, though. That seemed like an automatic run, but that's why you can talk about how Stafford taking the sack wasn't a bad play because nobody was open. So worst case is you force San Francisco to burn a timeout. But
yeah, you could do worse than get it in Cup's hands on the screen.
Yeah, tell them to make a guy miss, see what happens. Maybe a face mask penalty if you're lucky.
Stay in bounds.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
so they're gonna
kick.
So they're gonna have the ball with 139 left, and about 143.
I said overtime, so here we are.
All right.
My 23-29ers call is really alive and well right now.
Can I still get fucked on that? Can I still get fucked in overtime? Yeah, I can. I got 46.5. Fuck.
Okay. Wait.
It's unlikely, but it could still happen.
I mean, yeah, you'd need 2 scores, but yeah.
What's that?
You need a field goal and a touchdown and over.
Yeah, exactly. One team opens with a field goal, the other one scores a touchdown. I'm fucked. Does Gay have the leg for this 33-yarder? He banged one home earlier.
Yeah, he made one from I want to say like 38, I think. Yeah. It's not an issue of the accuracy. The point is past 50 is basically useless.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And somebody that I don't think, I'd have to look him up, but I don't think he was known for a thunder leg at the best of times.
By the way, great job, Shanahan. You punted on 4th and 2 so the Rams could kill 5 minutes off the clock and take the lead.
Yep. That's what
Genius.
You do.
Genius.
It makes no sense at all.
What did you expect? They just went 75 yards on your ass. You really going to punt on 4th and 2?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Shanahan just doesn't get it.
Worst case scenario, you don't get it. You've got 2.5 more minutes on the clock.
Shanahan doesn't get it.
No.
There's some coaches that are they just don't get it. And the fact that he has an offensive background makes it even dumber.
You would think they would be more invested in analytics at this point.
You figure, especially since Shanahan has an advanced zone running scheme, which is one of the most effective running schemes arguably of all time.
I know.
So you figure, play action pass, something. Like
I believe Zodwig's roasting us a bit when he says that's why he's 6-0 against them. Pointing to the head me.
Well, the point is I don't care, once again, if the Niners win or not. I know you do, so I'm rooting for you, but I said my dream outcome would be Rams win by 3 because I get an entertaining team in the Super Bowl against another entertaining team, and I win the 3.5. So I'm not complaining. Like, this is the exact spot I want to be in. Not you. This is the spot I want to be in.
These fields are like rubber based, very strange. They got the field turf.
Probably got the pellets.
Yeah, the pellets where you see them like kick up when they hit the ground. The old tires. That's what those are.
There's going to be another game on Shanahan's belt if they don't win this, where people just look at him and go, "You conservative bastard," every time.
It's pretty brutal.
It's awful. So this is the point, though, that I'm trying to say, where some of these decisions, especially nowadays, seem obvious because with more, not even just analytics, but just people recognize the importance of being aggressive in the NFL nowadays. So even without the numbers, you can just say it's a more high-scoring league because of how it's officiated. You need to score points.
Playing not to win makes you lose. I totally
That's correct.
100% agree.
I think every team needs at least a consultant to make decisions on when to go for it, when to punt, when to go for 2. Just have one guy you pay whatever salary you want. His only job is either to go through analytics or to just tell you when to do certain things. And he should have final say on when to do the things. Because I don't know at what circumstance you can look at this. I actually won everything.
You can't throw the ball down the field here? I don't understand. All right, let's go, boys. Is this where he throws his pick? Oh, the dreaded sack. Oh, fuck.
Oh, you wish it was a sack.
Oh, no. Yep.
There's a Garoppolo pick.
Yeah, there it is.
Swept the board, people. If you took Garoppolo in the middle of the game interception, like I said, you got a nice plus money prize. So that is the exact outcome that I wanted in every single degree. Sorry for your money line loss, but Niners covered. Game went under.
I made
Stafford
more.
Pick.
I made more on the under. I'm good.
Garoppolo live pick. What a time. Let's go.
And it helps. And if the Chiefs wouldn't have shit the bed, I'd hit my teaser. I had Niners plus 9.5. So yeah, I'm fine. Should have taken the points. Oh well.
Was his knee down? No, it was not. Okay.
Sorry, yeah, JC. Not my favorite day of football. I gotta be honest with you, man. No question about it.
Tell you what, though, it's gonna be a fun Super Bowl. I'm happy with the outcome. I don't want to see Jimmy G playing the game. I think he's boring.
Fair enough.
But now this opens up the door because I mentioned the
potential. What a great pass too, by the way.
In that situation,
look at this dude. Backhand falling, nailed, put it right in his hands. Come on.
But then what happens there? You have
I know he's not
fourth and 20.
You know what? It's not a fucking interception. How about that?
It's 4th and 20. I'm just saying. Game's over. But I have to wonder, since I brought it up last week, but I'll bring it up again. The Niners have to make a run at Rodgers, right? Like, you can't run it back with Jimmy G, can you?
Fuck no. Niners have no interest in Rodgers, I don't think.
It's not a matter of interest. It's a matter of just looking at the situation. Garoppolo's not good enough.
Rodgers says he's not going anywhere, buddy.
You have a Ferrari. Not even Rodgers. Just somebody. Anybody.
Rams win it all.
Can you really run it back with Garoppolo if you want to win a title? I really just don't see it.
Apparently not. By the way, congratulations to Kevin. I don't know if Kevin's still out there or not, but he took a live bet with a buddy of his for $50 on the Rams when we were poo-pooing that. So way to go. I think your beats called a cops.
I'm gonna have my Medvedev beat on there, so all of that.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to
kind of have to, right? I mean, plus 175 to win the tournament. He's up 2-0.
Yep.
But
yeah, sometimes we do make the call of the cops a little personalized. So
because we know it exists, so we know some of the nuances.
Yes, and a lot of people follow our picks as well. So
I'm disappointed, by the way. No Gatorade bath.
No.
You save that for the Super Bowl?
Yes. Yeah, they got a job, man. They're focused. My heart is in Cincy. My money is the Rams. Oh, are you really gonna bet it that way, Zodwick? Are you really? Brutal. Number 3 on Donkey of the Day.
James, I don't know if they can bring Brady out of retirement when he didn't officially retire. I think right now my favorite for Donkey of the Day would probably be Adam Schefter.
Yeah, we were going to talk about. Somebody asked us to talk about that. We were going to do.
I think Schefter has to be at least, unless I can think of something else. Schefter's got to be on the short list.
Yeah, that's all
for Donkey of the Day.
That's an all-time.
If your job is being an NFL insider, and you get the greatest player of all time or greatest quarterback of all time, because Jerry Rice could have an argument.
Yeah,
you cannot butcher the retirement of the most important player in the history of the sport. You
Zach
have one
Taylor.
job.
Zach Taylor from the McVay coaching tree. Very good.
It's already better than the Belichick tree.
You know who's got the best tree?
Reed.
Big Red, buddy. Big Red. All right. Well, there you go, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I think we're still trying to figure out how to do it here a little bit.
I still am not sure if you guys actually want a full play-by-play breakdown or just some ranting and raving in the middle.
Yeah,
I kind of prefer the ranting and raving aspect of it, but
I'm happy to break down. I'm happy to break down the defenses too. We want to do that. That's fine. I think we try to find a little bit of a blend. And again, it's hard not seeing it in real time. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining us. Of course, we appreciate it, especially you guys that hung with us the whole time. God bless you. And we appreciate it. 3 hours, kind of in and out.
In and out.
Game. So, of course, you guys make sure you stick with us. We'll see about the Super Bowl. We'll see. We're going to be doing prop shows and things like that. I don't know about a live broadcast, but we'll definitely figure something out. We'll do something special. You guys have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the football. Hope it was profitable for you. Hope your team is moving on. Looking at you, Zodwick, and hope you get the outcome you're looking for in the Super Bowl. But until tomorrow, that's it for us. We appreciate you guys joining us. Me for Scott, and thanks for hanging out. We'll see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, as we do our best to help you to head back to the window. Take care, everybody.